Irish stuff on YouTube.
Oh, man.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to episode 33 of Coffee, Casuals, and Consoles. We have a really great show lined up for you today with lots of stuff to talk about, so hopefully we can get through everything. But first, we're going to get into our intros. We have Creating Beyond Limits. Would you like to say good morning?
Good morning, everyone. Can't wait
Top
to get into
top
of the morning to y'all. I can't wait to get in today's show. I'm always happy to be on every week. And I just can't wait to hear what everyone has to say about the topics that we're going to be talking about.
Awesome.
Fasten
We got a
your
lot of good
seatbelt.
stuff. Yeah, right? And then we have Mr. Boomstick XL. Would you like to say good morning?
Yes, good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Hopefully you have a cup of coffee like I do, and you're in for the long haul because this is going to be an awesome show.
Absolutely. And then we have Supersonic Station.
Silence, you funny fool! I've had it with your whining and bumbling.
Wow.
Skeletor says hi again, and he's loaded up, jacked up on coffee, and ready to go.
That's funny because that reminds me of something that I was watching on Facebook. What was it? Skeletor and He-Man.
Oh, goodness.
They danced to what the hell was the? It was from Dirty Dancing. It was
hilarious.
Oh, I gotta show you guys. I gotta send you the link. It was so funny. I laughed so hard. I was like, "Are they making a He-Man movie and Skeletor?" Because the costumes look way too awesome. But yeah, they were dancing to like something girly.
Did they do the lift at the end?
Yeah,
That was a
hilarious
key moment right there. The lift
Yeah.
at the end.
I gotta
And,
see
like,
this.
I think Skeletor went through a wall. It was great.
What?
That was the best part, by the way.
This is unacceptable.
I'll have to find it and send it to you guys so you guys can watch it because I laughed so hard each time I watched it. And then we have Xbot448. Would you like to say good morning?
What's going on, people? It's the Xbot 448, and it is another Wednesday morning. CCC is in the house. What's going on, everybody in the chat?
Yeah, what's up, everybody? Guys, I am your host, Mel. Oh, snap, it's Mel. And we have a lot of stuff to talk about. But again, we have some awesome giveaways this week. The giveaways that we do have for this week are a $10 Xbox gift card. And then, Jesus, what was it called? The Hoonigan.
The Hoonigan DLC pack for Forza 7.
The Hoonigan DLC for pack Forza 7. It's been a long week, and it's only Wednesday, guys. That's the crazy part.
That Hoonigan pack has a white Porsche, just to let you guys know.
Nice.
A white Porsche?
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. Yes, Noble Addiction. I am getting sick. I feel like crap, and yay. So guys, stick around for the hashtags because you know how we like to do our hashtag giveaways. And then that way you guys will have to put in the exact hashtag that I do right in the chat. Or if you're listening, I'll tell you what it is. And then you guys have to tweet it on Twitter using that specific hashtag. And then we will do a tweet draw for the winners. But stick around to find out more when we're going to actually give those away. All right. So the first thing I want to get into is what you guys have been playing this week. So we're going to start with Mr. Boomstick XL.
I've been playing a little bit of Cuphead. I got one race in Forza, which we're going to talk about later. And what I really dove deep into was Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. My God, that story mode is fantastic.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I wasn't expecting much because, you look like and Injustice 2, their story is ridiculous. This is really well done. Thumbs up to Capcom. I mean, the interaction between the characters is literally priceless. I definitely recommend this game.
Nice. Our oldest actually has the game, so I can go in and play it whenever I want to. I was a little drawn back by them being so kind of like MCU heavy when there's so many characters in Marvel that they can get like that aren't so in the cinematic universe.
Yes,
so
yes.
I was a little upset about that.
Yeah, they have a lot of deep cuts though for Capcom. I gotta say, and I just like I said, the interaction, the banter between the characters is really well done. Like, I'm really digging the story.
Boom! You just sparked my interest, man.
Dun,
Great.
dun, dun. You guys are getting along so well this week. No debating and stuff.
Oh, we always get along, man. This is like me and Boom. This is a traditional Italian family here.
Well, let me put it this way. I'm not used to you guys agreeing so much. How about that?
Yeah, guy, off the air, we actually agreed on something else as well. So this is about to be a great show today.
Yes. A gem.
Someone else is gonna have to go rogue this week.
Oh, I'm thinking it's CBL over there.
That's where my vote is, Mr. Mouse and Keyboard himself.
I don't agree with that.
Cracks fingers. Let's go.
All right, CBL. What have you been playing this week?
Mostly just one game. I've kind of been addicted to it, and that's Fortnite Battle Royale.
Ooh.
Whenever I'm on the Xbox now, like with a bit of time to spare, it's like I can have one match. I'm gonna die in like the second I land, but no, but it's a really good mode. I've won a few times, which was pretty awesome. Last week I did play a good bit of it with Noble Addiction, and we won. And
you guys won?
Well, I think I won when I was with Noble, unless I won when I wasn't.
When you win, is it some type of dinner? Is what I know. There's like meatloaf dinner or something like that to really kind of mimic PUBG with the chicken dinner.
I don't recall anything popping up, but if you win, you get an umbrella, like as a parachute. You go down with an umbrella instead of like the little glider thing that you have.
Like Mary Poppins.
Yeah, you're like Mary Poppins going down. But it's a really good mode if you just haven't played it. The whole squad thing is pretty fun when you're playing it with people, and they just announced today that the doubles version is out now, so you can search with just 2 people.
Noble said it's an early morning brunch.
I played Killer Instinct today, first time in a while. I thought a lot of people would be jumping on it because it released on Steam, and I kicked someone's ass, so I was really happy with that.
Excellent.
I was like, record that shit. The noobs are on. The noobs are on.
Well, that's awesome. It sounds like, what was it? On Halo, Xbox used to be like, it's Noob Sunday, and then he got his ass whooped.
Oh, yeah. Every Sunday when the NFL is on, especially, the first couple of years of that title, it was Noob Sunday, because most of the hardcore people, they're watching their favorite team, watching NFL games, stuff like that. So I would go in and pad my stats on people who didn't know what they were doing. So that was pretty fun.
Until he got his butt whooped. How about that?
No, I don't recall that, so it never happened.
Yeah, sure. You don't recall it because of selective memory. I do want to know from the chat what you guys have been playing this week, so we can read some of your comments and see what you guys have been playing also. All right, Xbot, what have you been playing this week?
Basically, it's been down to 2 games, which is Forza Motorsport 7 and Destiny 2. I do want to say for Destiny 2, the faction rally is over. Congratulations to the Dead Orbit for winning.
That's even
though they really had nothing to offer when it came to the weapons. It was definitely Future War Colt that had the better weapon, and it was the Monarchy who had the better shaders. But because Dead Orbit has the name Dead in it, and they use black as a shader, they win. They are the more popular faction. But congratulations, guys.
Hey, it don't matter. Anytime you go to that tower, you bow down to that Dead Orbit flag that's flying high.
I will not ever. But when I do make my Warlock, because it matches, my Warlock will be Dead Orbit. My Hunter will be Monarchy, because red and gold with a Hunter, that would be pretty awesome. Yeah.
Yep, that's what I do. I have 3 different characters, 3 different factions, so you're always going to win.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Winner, chicken dinner.
No winner, chicken dinner. It's breakfast time, guys. I'm going to read some of the chats, and then we'll get Supersonic's input. Jago, or Jake, how do you say that? Jago?
Jago, yeah.
Am I right? Okay, thank you. Playing Cuphead. What's up, Fuzzy Belvedere? I didn't even see him say hi. Good morning. Cuphead, Neo Mental. Thanks to you. And Destiny 2. Awesome. Cuphead and Forza. And Overwatch for the UK Daz. Sobsky, Cuphead, Forza 7.
I hear UK he's really liking Overwatch, which is really cool. I think he came in at the perfect time where there's a bunch of content and maps and stuff to really sink your teeth into.
Oh hell yeah, we're getting the Halloween stuff on the 10th, so get ready for that as well.
We get ready for the 14-year-old to talk about it for days.
He already started, by the way.
Yeah, I didn't hear that yet, so it doesn't count. Sapsky's been playing Cuphead, Forza 7, Red Dead Redemption, and UFC 2. Nice. Noble Addiction's been playing Absolute Drift and Danger Zone. And Yard Stomper said he's been playing YouTube and Netflix. That's awesome.
Ooh, yo, if he puts in Media Player right there, he has the trifecta. You got to get all those achievements for those three, man.
Is that really a trifecta? Or are you bullshitting?
We can make it the crap gamer trifecta, maybe.
Oh, okay, awesome. I'm trying to like keep up with the chat here. Neo Mental has been playing Dead Orbit. Noble Addiction also played Cuphead. James says James 176 grinding in Destiny 2. No clowns allowed. Let's see what else. There's just so much Cuphead and Forza, and more Cuphead than anything. So it's good to see. Obviously, people are enjoying it. Supersonic Station, what have you been playing this week?
Cuphead.
Oh, goodness.
I need to do a quick shout out because I actually won that game last night on Console Corner.
Oh, so nice.
Oh, thank you. That's great.
For the code. Thanks, She-Wolf, GKB, Nukem, Magic Mike, Lady Foxfire. Is that it? Okay. Thank you. I was so happy to win that. I've also been playing a lot of VR games, VR horror games. It's so scary and intense to play a VR horror game.
And you haven't had a heart attack yet?
Not yet, but they're coming out with the Exorcist VR.
Oh, yeah, shut up.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I can't wait.
It looks like it's going to make you possibly shit your pants.
Yes, I'm really excited about that.
You heard about the free experience coming out, right? New Recruit, Halo.
Dope, dude. I'm just sad that I'm not going to be able to experience that.
Halo is going to be on VR on the 17th. But it's should I talk about it? I think it's going to be kind of an experience to get people hyped for the next Halo. So, I mean, don't expect like a full game. Expect
it's 5 minutes. It's a 5-minute game. That's what it is.
Expect something like the Spider-Man thing.
You walk up to an elite. You're going to see an elite from that vantage point. So that's going to be crazy, yo.
Right. I think you get to drive a warthog and you might be able to hold the Cortana in your hand. That's just stuff to get you excited for the next Halo, which I think it's really effective. They did that with the It movie and they did it with the Spider-Man movie. Then that got me hyped for like both those, but I'm really excited to see that. And I'm sure they will add later on, they'll probably add kind of like a Spartan Op thing. I mean, they'll definitely probably never anytime soon release a full Halo game in VR, but I think it's cool. We're going to have a experience thing for it.
Sure.
So
absolutely.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Destiny 2, of course. Game's addicting like crack. Not that I ever did crack or anything.
Sure.
I got back. Then I had to take a break from Destiny, so I got back into Overwatch. I've been playing some Project Spark and I got back into Planet Coaster. I love that game.
Damn, you guys play a lot of stuff. I don't even have time to breathe. I'm a little jealous. But I'm going to read some more of the chat comments because I didn't even see Crap Gamer in here. So good morning, Crap. Forza 7, Call of Duty 4 Remastered, and Cuphead. Another one with Cuphead. Let's see. Lots of Destiny 2 and Cuphead. That's what I see. Shansu, Destiny 2, Pinball FX 3, Dragon's Dogma.
Yep.
Let's see what else. I'm
trying to actually really want to get Dragon's Dogma.
I don't know what that is.
It was a 360 game. It's just getting a like HD re-release on the Xbox and PlayStation. It's a really good game from what I played years ago.
All right, well, I'm going to tell you guys what I've been playing this week. The only thing that I've played this week, which was a lot of fun. I didn't even play my mobile game this week. I'm going to be doing a stream of it also, hopefully tonight, if everybody at work behaves, and plus. So I got a code for that to test it out, and the game is actually out as of yesterday, I believe, but I'm not positive with the time. But it is so much fun. And
That was a 360 game, wasn't it?
well, N
Yes.
Plus was, and they did it backwards compat, and now there's N Plus Plus out. And me and Xbot were playing, and they make it more challenging for if you have multiple players. Man, I can't even tell you how many times like I cursed and wanted to throw my controller, but at the same time I was laughing my ass off. So that's what makes it worth it. Is we had just so much fun laughing because the game is just it's so ridiculous. And then I kept exploding Xbot. So I think I was being annoying, and then he started doing it to me, and I didn't like it. I am such a hypocrite sometimes. Like I'll sit there and laugh like after I like explode him, and then he does it to me, and I'm like, "You're a fuckface," and I get so mad.
I wait for her to jump to get the full effect because you see all the little stick figure like limbs and stuff fly everywhere.
Yeah, it's hilarious, and then they added some color and stuff, so it's so much fun, especially when you're playing multiplayer. I haven't even touched the single player yet, so hopefully you guys will stop by for my stream when I do stream it. Hopefully later, but I need to go metal detecting sometime today too. So yeah, I got a metal detector because that's what I want to do with the rest of my life. Anyways, moving on, guys. So yeah. Everybody's played a lot of stuff in the chat. I see a lot more Cuphead than I see Forza. And I'm curious, do you guys think it's because the price and how these games, came out in such a similar time?
I'd
I
say
think
so.
that's one of the biggest reasons for it is the $20 price tag compared to the 60. If you ask Mr. Dark Optimus out there, he'll say racing simulators are niche, but they are international titles. So I definitely think it's because the $20 price tag. And let's face it, there's been a lot of hype when it's come to Cuphead.
Yep.
There's been a lot of people talking about it. I mean, even Angry Joe gave it a 10 out of 10, man.
And that guy pretty much hates everything, so that's surprising.
It's a good review.
Yeah.
That's
I don't know.
surprising.
Do you guys think any game is really a 10 out of 10?
Mass Effect 2,
I mean,
The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, there's a few of them. I mean, look, I'm gonna go crazy. I may get some negative feedback for this, but I'm gonna go on a limb and say that the new Zelda Breath of the Wild, that to me is a 10. I mean,
Yeah, I was actually playing that this morning.
I have 130 plus hours in that game, and there's still stuff that I haven't done. It's definitely going to be in my top 3 at the end of the year for sure.
You know what? I have that. Hold on, Xbox. We have that game, right? And I was playing it, and then one of the 9-year-olds started playing it, and then he wouldn't put it down. And now, they broke the wire for the Wii U because we didn't have it for the Switch. They broke the the connector wire to plug it in.
Charging for the gamepad.
And I just got a new charger, so I'm like, yay, I can play that again. But I know he's gonna be taking it over. So yeah.
When it's actually charging as we speak right now. So
yay. That's such a fun game. And I don't know, that one I got really caught up in, and I just like cooking food and making it.
Yep, absolutely.
What is the word? When it's gross.
Oh,
they use.
Yeah, where they have it's like a pixelized. They don't even show what the food looks like. It's hilarious.
What is the word? They used it on video too. You know what? Whatever. It doesn't matter.
Doo-doo.
No, it's not doo-doo. It's a fun word to say.
Hey, doo-doo is a fun word to say.
All right. Well, I can't remember what it is right now, but it's whatever.
Yeah, I gotta say, I think that because Cuphead, even though it was, as with Xbox fans, I think we expected Cuphead to be, good because we've seen it. People have been playing it for years. So you kind of, but I think the reason why it's selling so well is because Forza we get every year, and that doesn't take away from how great Forza is, because Forza 7 is a masterpiece in racing. But Cuphead is such a unique title.
That's exactly the word I would use. Unique.
Even with the difficulty spike, that you want to, and I've seen plenty of tweets with broken controllers in it. The game is just something that even non-gamers stop to take a look at. I mean, I had family over this weekend, and most of my wife's family, they're not really into gaming, but don't you know, I'm playing this, and they're like, "Are you playing that game? Or are you watching a cartoon?" And I'm like, no, I'm playing it. And they hung around and watched me play because it's unusual. And
It's
when
different.
you can get the attention of non-gamers, you did something right. There's no doubt about it.
Absolutely. That's good to hear, because I can imagine, all right, I know this sounds silly, but I can imagine that if, you know, the older family members in my house saw that, they would be really interested, you know, those especially that are non-gamers. And I mean, obviously it's not going to be like older people, but like, you know, the art style from, let's say, when my dad was a kid or something.
Yes. Yes.
So that would be very attractive to him, and he'd probably be a lot more interested in it. And then children, because the colors and the cartoon look to it, and
the
I
music.
mean, yeah,
Yes, absolutely. The music is unbelievable. Actually, it's the first vinyl music that I'm considering buying for gaming.
very nice. So, you know, are you gonna kind of get that like the soundtrack or something?
I might, because they have it on vinyl. It's like a deluxe edition. I mean, it's a little pricey. I think it's like $130, but the soundtrack is really, you know, that you wait for like a Black Friday sale and you get it for like $60. Then
You said a little pricey, $130.
I know, but again, it's a big box set. It's really well done. I mean, I'm not going to get it now because, yeah, $130. I'd rather get 2 games, but the soundtrack really is unbelievably good.
I finally made it to the second aisle, and I'm fighting this candy corn thing, and that's all I keep thinking about. I want to go get revenge and kill that thing. And that's what's good about it, because like one major flaw that could have been in the game is a load screen every time you die, but you get right back into it, and every time you die, you just want to get right back into it and get mad, then go right back into it.
All right,
it's so fun.
I have a question though, since we're getting into our thoughts on Cuphead, right? So, when you guys like die, is there like a save point, or do you have to like start a level all over again?
Well, you gotta set the boss level.
Yeah, the bosses really aren't a level. You're just fighting the boss. But if you spend 10 minutes fighting the boss and you're at the end of the boss stage and somehow or another you make a wrong move and you die, you got to start all over.
But there's like that game Outrun, where it shows you your progress, how far you made it, that racing game. They have a little thing that shows you how far you got to that beating that boss, and when you see that thing go all the way at the end, you're like, oh my god, I gotta go back.
So close.
Yeah, I from what I've seen from the game, like I don't have it, but from what I've seen, there's a couple things you could do. They have like different run and gun type situations and stuff like that. Where if you die, I believe you have to start back in the beginning. Yep. The real meat of the game are these bosses. You go in to fight these bosses, and like they have multiple. They morph into different things.
Yep.
So you'll have like the first time like you'll see the boss and you'll take that version out, but it'll morph into something else. Like I saw something flying through the air. It looked like a girl on a, those one wheel kind of like pedal type things, flying through the air. And all of a sudden she turned into a crescent moon, and started going nuts. So there's like multiple evolutions to the bosses.
Yeah, there's different phases. And like another cool thing is if you think you got everything memorized, they'll change the patterns on you. So it's that much, like something totally different can happen through that run through. So
unicycle, thank you, Fuzzy. It was something so easy, and I forgot the word for it.
Unicycle. Fuzzy Belvedere said it in the chat. It's a unicycle.
Yep.
Unicorn. All right. So CBL, can we hear from you? You're so quiet today. And
he's probably going doo-doo.
No, I had to click on the thing. Cuphead.
On the ting.
I've only watched others play Cuphead and seen reviews and stuff like that. It's a game like I said, I really want to play it. I don't have the funds to actually get the game. So if anyone wants to send one my way, I wouldn't say no. I'll even stream it so you can see.
Digital gifting and hashtag mooching.
Yeah, I don't mind. I want to play Cuphead, okay? I can clear that game without dying, I'm sure. I'm a master at Dark Souls, so...
I hear a lot of people talking about how hard it is.
It is. It can be brutal.
Oh, excuse me. I keep
That's
trying to
because gamers today are pansies, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
snap.
I'm a little older. So I was beaten to death by the NES console with my brother back in the day. So we're seasoned. But Cuphead, even for him, he was. And by the way, shout out to my brother Neo Mental, who's in the chat. He used the $10 Xbox Live card to get Cuphead for 50% off and only paid $10 for it.
Beautiful. That's freaking awesome.
So yes, you can win on this show, and it does work.
One thing
You
I
guys
was
can
with
when you have a chance.
like those power-ups in the game, I thought they were like a one-time use, so I was like trying to go through like a lot of the game through not getting it till I needed it. So
Right? No, they're permanent. Add-ons to your character, which is great.
yeah, I finally figured that out. So now I'm going back to try to collect every freaking coin in the game.
Oh, that's good. I mean, that's definitely a reason, well, there's replay value number one.
Sure.
You can go back and, get everything. You realize something a little late, but guess what? That's more reason for you to enjoy the game.
It's such a creative game. It's so amazing.
After hearing you guys talk about how beautiful it is, how hard it is. I mean, I'm not, one of those people who really enjoys single player games, but it does look like something that I would definitely like to try.
Well, it does have couch co-op. So it's two players.
Dude,
there's
don't
a
tell
direct to
her
other
that.
player.
Oh man.
There's Cuphead and Mugman.
The place are
So
coming.
you can play on sitting next to one another with a buddy, and eventually they're talking about adding online co-op. So hopefully
have you guys anybody here played co-op yet?
Not yet, no.
I don't have it on PC, but you can play online co-op on PC if you have NVIDIA. Sure.
All right. Well, I need to know from the chat. Has anybody played co-op, and does it make the game that much better, or is it a little more frustrating? I definitely want to hear from you guys.
From what I've seen people say, it's like a mix of both, because it's more crazy when there's two people jumping around and stuff like that. So you could easily get distracted because they don't look too much different other than being a different color. But you have an extra person shooting them. I don't know if the boss's health scales up to another player. Probably would a little bit to make it make sense. But it looks really good to go up.
Definitely be distracting for me because there's so much going on and like another player like worrying about that would.
What is this parry stuff? James says couch co-op. You can parry your partner to revive them.
You can revive them. Yes.
When your character dies in traditional 1930s cartoon fashion, their ghost starts to rise.
Oh, okay.
And if you can go and just touch your co-op partner's ghost as it's rising, they'll come back to life.
That's cute.
Yeah. I do have to say the Don. It's funny because Mrs. KTR is not a big gamer at all, and we were talking in a Xbox Live party, and she loves Cuphead. So maybe Mr. and Mrs. KTR over there, maybe they have been going in on co-op. But I know he even stopped playing Destiny 2 because he's like, yep, the wife wants to play Cuphead. Here we go.
That's cute though. That's awesome.
It's pretty amazing that in 2017 you can get something like this. Yes, it did have a lot of hype. Yes, it has Microsoft backing, but it's got so much meat on the bones, and it's $20. That's what's amazing.
Another thing to say is that it's an Xbox Play Anywhere game. So if you do get it, you also get the PC version for free.
Okay, because I was gonna say Neo Mental asked that in the chat. Is it Play Anywhere game?
Yes.
So that's definitely makes it more bang for the buck too.
I did not know that. That is awesome.
Buy it once, play it anywhere.
Sobsky says co-op makes it worse in my opinion, harder to focus. I can imagine because if someone's playing co-op with me, I'm the worst.
That's like playing R-Type or something like that in multiplayer. Well, R-Type is side-scrolling space shooter type thing.
Definitely. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just saying there's so many particle effects, so many things flying around and stuff like that you might have a tendency to lose yourself. When it comes to Cuphead, from what I've seen from the co-op, I think the better character to be is the one wearing the blue shirt. They seem to stick out more. Yeah.
There I do agree there are parts that remind me of that game and Gyrus and Contra. I don't know. There's really good nostalgia if you like the 8-bit games, but it's a lot harder, but there's definitely some old games that totally remind you of this game.
Speaking of old games brought to new, anybody want to talk about the SNES Classic? And did you find one?
Well, yeah, let's talk about that.
Boom dropped a segue right there.
You like that, right? I kind of, I was waiting. I want to make sure that it sounded correct.
No, it's great. Real quick though, I wanted to do a hashtag. I was actually working on it. So anybody who wants, to play Cuphead, the game is $20. You guys have an opportunity to win a $10 gift card.
Yes.
So I'm coming up with a hashtag.
Hashtag.
I mean, if you already have Cuphead, then use the Xbox $10 gift card for whatever the hell you want. But let's talk about the SNES Classic Edition, and then I will have a hashtag ready for you guys, and then we will be giving that away a little bit later. Okay.
Excellent.
Nice.
All right. So yeah, who here has found one?
I was there. I was number 11 online. Got there about 40 minutes before GameStop opened up, and they only had 15 for the store. Past a few reserves. So I was number 11. Got it. I gotta say, it's really nice. I mean, obviously the games look, they're 16-bit games, but man, to have all of those games in one package, resting underneath the TV, and it's just one, two wires, one to plug in and one to hook it up to an HDMI cable, and you're raring to go. $80, 20.
I thought there was more than 60 games on there. Am I thinking of something else?
There are 21 games.
Oh, 21. Like I thought there was maybe I'm thinking of the price tag 80.
No, the big one on there is the Star Fox 2. That never released. No, I'm just saying there's a lot of great games on there. I'm saying, but the one you might want to buy it for is technically you're getting a game that's new, that's 30 years old, that was never released. So Star Fox 2 is there. That's the 21st game, but the titles are unbelievable. I mean, they really I'd like to know how many people have it. My first game, believe it or not, I played Donkey Kong Country. I loved that game, and it was great to go back.
Damn, Boom, I really think we are like blood related or something, because I was just waiting to drop the question of, dude, what was the first game when you turned it on? And you just already answered it. I have no questions for you now, man.
Sorry about that.
He's covering all his bases.
I see that, and he is crossfire trained. That is for sure.
Yes. You got to stay sharp with those guys, or they cut you off at the ankles.
All right. So, did anybody else try to pick one up on the panel? Or
I did. I was first in line to buy a Nintendo Mini because I love Nintendo so much.
You're such a liar.
They're my favorite. I love buying my games over and over. I'm just kidding. Like all those games I just play on my Xbox dashboard through the cloud. So there's no reason for me to pick up a $70 emulator.
Yeah, it's actually $80.
Oh, I'm sorry, $80 emulator.
$80. Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, I just stream them to my Xbox One and through the cloud and just play them on there, and you don't have to worry about the borders and all that stuff. It's full screen, and you can up the resolution and all that stuff if you want. So if you own the game, just put it in the cloud and play it on your Xbox, these old Nintendo games.
Or people can just buy games and do it the normal way.
They can. Everyone has a choice. I agree, but I don't know. I think everyone that keeps feeding Nintendo money for this crap, but you're just making stuff worse.
Well, that's a really insightful money for the scrap, guys. But there's so many people who are excited because that's going to be a really great, simple gift instead of going to let's say put the games in the cloud and do this, that, and the other. As far as using emulators and things like that, it's nostalgic and it's a really great gift. Which is the reason why I did have the opportunity to pick one up. And I sold it. I was sad because I really wanted to get two and do one as a giveaway, but they weren't having that at GameStop. So,
nope. Yeah, they were real strict on that.
They were, and I'm like, you know what, you guys suck. But yeah, I wanted to do one for a giveaway. I wanted to really ultimately get 3. That was on my list. I did not get any notification or anything other than Twitter. Thank God for Twitter, because no one would know shit, because these places don't actually email you when they say you're going to be notified until after the fact.
Yeah.
Can I ask a quick question? Can you buy these games on your Switch yet? I'm just
curious. No, there's no virtual store available on the Switch as of yet. They're working on it as we speak.
All right, congratulations, everyone. If you buy this, you're gonna have to buy those games all over again. I'm not positive about that.
No, you won't. What are you saying? What do you mean? Like, if you buy the Nintendo SNES Classic, you don't have to buy the games all over. You're just gonna
play
your Switch. Why would you do that, though? I'm just curious. Like,
well, because Switch is mobile, though, and if you really like those games,
okay,
you'll be able
this
to
is a plug and play thing, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so that it's pretty tiny. That makes it mobile Xbot.
Yeah, but you still need a TV to see.
Okay, well, you know what? You're. Oh my gosh. But okay, if somebody really like absolutely need to play those games, like, you know, I just don't see that people would need to rebuy them on a Switch. Like, I think that's silly. Like, that's why you have the little tiny get a little mini screen. Jesus Christ, use your imagination. I don't know.
But like Supersonic said, people like rebuying all the Nintendo games over and over.
I mean, how many times I've purchased Super Mario World? I bought it on the Wii, bought it on the Wii U, you know, bought it on the 3DS, bought the SNES Mini. You know, I mean, if you're a Nintendo fan, you know, $6-7 really is not that big of a deal for, you know, a classic game. But that's just me.
That's
yeah,
why
like I can't say that.
That's why I like what Xbox is doing. Everything's forward, backwards compatible. You don't have to worry about buying your games over and over and over and over.
All right, when you're talking about Nintendo in terms of their consoles and their online purchasing and stuff like that, I agree with Sonic. Something needs to change. They need to instead of putting the rights or the key on the hardware, they need to put it with your what I call Nintendo prison number.
Yes, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Real quick, guys. Real quick, I'm sorry, I'm gonna cut you off.
Cut off like crazy today, man.
How do you like it?
All
right, so real quick, in the chat, I did put the hashtag that you guys need to win that $10 Xbox gift card. So it's hashtag CCC33Xbox. All right, exactly the way it is, and let us know what you want to get with your $10 Xbox gift card. You must use the hashtag to win, guys. Like, or you're exactly the way it is in the chat. If you don't use it that way on Twitter, then you will not be entered in the tweet draw. So definitely use it exactly the way it is.
What are we saying for this hashtag?
It's hashtag CCC33Xbox. And then you let us know what you want to get with your $10 Xbox gift card.
Oh, nice.
Me and Creating Beyond Limits won last week.
Mr. Boomstick was very generous this week, and he donated the prizes today, so it's really awesome. So, guys, go hit up Twitter, and we are going to do a tweet draw for that shortly.
Isn't Game Pass $10 a month?
It is, but you know what? I got one even better than Game Pass, dude, which is going to freak everybody out. If you're a Mortal Kombat fan, right now, they're having a sale. You could get Mortal Kombat XL, which comes with the game and every piece of DLC for freaking $12.
That's such an amazing deal. That is like probably the best deal ever, because I don't even think that we have all the DLC.
So if you win that $10 thing, you're paying $2 for Mortal Kombat XL, which comes with every piece of DLC and the game. Listen, come on, people. It's as good as almost free.
Yeah, absolutely. I really, if I had won the $10, I would totally put $10 towards Cuphead. Definitely, that's probably the best deal, because if we ever get to do community combat again, you know, like with work, it's been really crazy, but that was one of our main games for community combat, and that was so much fun. And UK Daz will kick everybody's ass, but it's such an awesome game, and it's a really great group game, because like when we do community combat, there's like a room with 20 some odd people. So it's a lot of fun, and you can have, you know, anybody in the chat, and then a lot of people just come in and join because there's so many people to fight against. So for $2, that's a steal if you win that gift card. I'm just saying. All right. So I'm sorry for cutting you off, Xbox. Go back to whatever you're saying if you remember.
Oh, hold on. I got it. All right. Well, see, we were talking about how Nintendo loves to make you rebuy classic games, and man, it is really peculiar to see a company still cashing in on games from like the late 80s and stuff like that. But with these classic, like these mini classics, you don't have to worry about it again. I mean, unless you really want it portable, then guess what? Don't buy a mini.
Yes.
Wait for them to get
good
their
point,
market.
dude.
Wait for them to get their market set up on the Switch, have everything over there on the Switch, and then buy them then. These things are novelty items. These things are curiosities, you know, things that kind of tug on your nostalgia and stuff like that. I loved my Super Nintendo. I remember growing up when I had one, I had to defend the shit out of it at school because everybody was like Sega, Mortal Kombat, you know what I'm saying? No blood.
No blood. Yeah.
And it's like, well, dude, like the games on the Super Nintendo, first of all, were a lot more colorful. Everything on the Genesis was darker. And the cool thing was I had an older brother who had the Genesis with the Sega CD and the 32X. So I went on the other side of that and I got the Super Nintendo. So we had the best of both worlds in the house. But when it's all said and done, yeah, they do need to fix that whole, you know, where your key is going to play these games and have them, you know, moving forward into different hardware, letting it recognize that you are the owner of these games and not have to rebuy them because they're pegged to whatever hardware that you bought them on. But other than that, these things they're a different entity than that. I feel like these are something novelty, something you know, different to have in your house. The only thing I don't like about the SNES Mini, and I thought I was promised that the games were going to be on the full screen on my HD TV. I don't like those borders. I don't care if you can customize them or whatnot. I want the game full size on my TV. And that's one of the things that makes me like, when it comes to the SNES Mini. But the titles, man, having like Zelda, A Link to the Past, having Super Metroid, Super Mario, like all that good stuff. You know, great games, man. Absolutely great games. I think I just went everywhere in that one.
I love Super Metroid.
Super Metroid is probably my favorite game all time.
It's great. But again, just play them on your Xbox. If you've already bought Xbox, you don't have to worry about those borders or anything.
Screw emulators.
No, there's totally borders if you play them on your Xbox.
There's no borders.
There's totally borders.
There's not. I just look at my video.
I played the Legend of Zelda one, and that had borders.
Look at the video I put up. There's no borders.
All right, fine. Well, I mean, for those of you who picked one up, great. I did pick one up, and it sold for double within like 25 minutes of posting it on eBay. And I felt guilty, and I was like,
listen,
but
Scalper.
Hey,
hold on. In her defense, she put it as a penny to start at an auction. All right, it's not her fault that built up so quickly. You know what I'm saying?
Well, like I did buy it now, but you know, with the kids and Christmas coming and stuff like that, I was thinking, you know, about like, okay, one, obviously people are going to want this as a gift, and two, my kids are more important, and I wanted to get them some nice stuff for Christmas. So this is the way I ran it, right? With that in mind. And then I had this nice surprise of $295 in delinquent parking tickets. So that actually helps a lot, because if I didn't have that as a little backbone, I'd be really fucking screwed right now. I'm still screwed, but I'm less screwed than I was before I was really screwed.
I would never, ever do anything like that on eBay.
You're so full of shit.
Especially
the
Fortnite, the Friday the 13th developers are just like looking at you now, but like, you lying little fuck.
That's why you got blocked.
$350. That's worth getting blocked. $350 for a Tom Savini Jason skin. Are you kidding me?
That was made free like a month later. I hate to be that guy or girl.
Hopefully that guy was like a sheik in Saudi Arabia or something.
Yeah, if you're spending $350 on a skin, you don't need your money.
Right. Shout out to Luca in the chat. She got me the Cuphead code. I won. Thank you, Luca. You're awesome.
Yeah, Luca's awesome. It's nice seeing her here and everybody else. So guys, we're gonna move on from this. What?
Oh, snaps. Can I just let Siberia know that he did do the hashtag right, okay?
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Damn it.
And
Okay.
Noble Addiction, I don't know how you're gonna take $10 digitally and put it towards your Xbox One X. I'm just saying, man. I don't know how you're gonna do that, dude.
That makes sense.
Well, he
But
could buy
hey,
he could buy a game at least. You know what I'm saying, or put it towards a game. You know, listen,
I got
every little bit helps. $10 here, $10 there. Before you know it, you have $100.
no, that's
It'd be $10
true.
more than I have towards an Xbox One X, so it helps.
Actually,
Yeah, those flash sales, man. They put games for like $5.
Guys.
Like good games. Go.
you guys got like 10 seconds to get your hashtags in before I go pull a name. Okay.
Nice.
So it's
Who's gonna win today?
hashtag CCC33Xbox to win that $10 Xbox gift card. And I'm going to go through some of the comments in just a second. So
yeah, I saw one that was like, well, there a bunch of them were interesting, but one I didn't even think about. So
there's
but-
only like a couple people who've done it.
You know
So,
what, though? You know
trying
what?
to
Here's
give
the thing.
people a
Shout out
chance.
again to my brother Neo Mento, who is a gentleman. He said, and I quote after texting him, "Hey, get involved. I'm gonna let someone else win this week because it's only right."
That's
at that.
nice. I like seeing people share and stuff.
Yeah,
That's
he's
really
a good dude
awesome.
like that.
Sharing is caring.
So we're gonna go through some of the comments on there, guys, and the hashtag is there. So get them in because I like it to be a nice, big, open, you know, giveaway.
That's great.
And get as many people involved as we can. And if you spell it wrong, that's not gonna help. It's hashtag CCC33 Xbox.
Not Xbox. Let's just get that. Let's just
Not
get that.
not the dude.
Not the
The
dude.
the machine, guys. So it's CCC33 Xbox, and tell us what you'd like to get with $10. So I'm gonna go through some of the answers here because I like Siberia's answer. But James176 says 50% off Cuphead sounds like a win-win for me. So that's definitely awesome. That's what I would do with it. UK Daz says Forza 7 DLC. So I mean that's definitely an option. Now, what DLC is Daz talking about?
He
Well,
could be
see,
talking about the VIP pack, maybe. I think that's.
I would say the cool thing is like he can hold on to that. This is something I'm thinking about because I got the standard edition, right? So I didn't get the I didn't get the season pass or anything like that. But there are points in time like with every car pack that comes out, and a car pack comes out once per month after the release of the game. There are times that there are cars I just don't want, and you can actually pick up individual cars for like $2. You don't have to get the whole pack.
Right.
So he can hold on to that $10 and really just hand pick 5 cars that he wants. So
That's a good idea.
There's there's options there, which is awesome.
Yeah, that is definitely awesome. Boldy Beaver, you did put CCC33 Xbox. You did not hashtag it. You got to use the hashtag because when I do tweet draw, it's going to draw a random name. So I'm going to give you a couple minutes to fix that. Go take care of it. He said he put the $10 towards Mortal Kombat. So that's definitely, you're going to get everything, right?
Yep,
for
everything.
$2.
It's the $12 edition is the Mortal Kombat XL edition, which includes all the DLC, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's really awesome. We're gonna give it a couple more minutes, and then we're gonna do the tweet draw for that. I like to be fair, but when I see people, they have their answers there, but they're not using the hashtag properly, that's not gonna help. So I want you guys to get into that. And I try to keep it fair, and I know that some of you guys don't use the hashtag, or you might forget to because you're so excited. Then I'm gonna extend it a little bit, but not very long. So go take care of that. Meanwhile, we've had so much stuff going on this week. And then I want to talk about Forza 7, but I want to hold off on that for a little bit. Did you hear that disappointment in Xbox?
Got them all excited.
I got so much to say about this.
I know you do. That's why we're going to torture you and make sure you wait.
This seems about right.
Yeah. I can be a jerk. I enjoy it. So I wanna quickly dive into the whole Groove Music services. Because a lot of people are talking about how, you know, Spotify basically wins and Groove Music, you know, Microsoft is giving up on them. I want to hear some of your guys' thoughts on this, because the reality is like they're partnered. So yeah, Spotify wins in a sense, but really Microsoft is winning, guys. So I'm gonna give this to Xbot to kind of talk about first.
Yeah, basically, first of all, shout out to Jez Corden from Windows Central, because he's the one who brought it out, and Jez is kind of pissed right now. He was kind of pissed that, you know, when it came to services and such, Microsoft seems to cut the head off of certain divisions before they fully develop. He was a true believer in Windows Mobile, and it just started seeing growth, and then they cut it. Now, when it comes to Groove, because a lot of people were concerned that, you know, they said that Groove, they said they're basically shutting down Groove, and that's not the case. What's going on is that subscription service or whatever, they are merging with Spotify is what's going on. And in my opinion, that's a good thing for them, because now Spotify will be using, you know, Microsoft streaming technology. Microsoft is going to get a piece of the Spotify pie. And that's a good business decision, in my opinion, because Spotify is so well known. It was something a lot of people talk about. I know we didn't get Spotify on the Xbox One for a while, and it's been on the PS4. So now subscriptions that go for whatever device, including PS4, Microsoft is getting a piece of that pie. And people were wondering, because of Forza Horizon 3 actually has a Groove Music channel that deals with like downloaded music that you have on your computer or whatnot, that you have on your OneDrive. Okay.
Mhm.
And when it comes to that aspect of Groove, nothing is going to change there. So you can still put your music in your OneDrive. You can still use your games on, use your music in games like Forza Horizon 3 with your playlists and stuff like that. The only thing that's changing is the subscription service. And like I said, at the end of the day, it's a business. All right. And sometimes it makes more sense than developing your own kind of like platform, especially with like internet radio. If you have the opportunity to merge, to partner with a company that is already well known, already has a big user base and stuff like that, business wise, you got to make that decision and do what's best for the company. And that's exactly what they did.
Awesome. Hang on 1 second. All right.
But
so,
like I said, when it comes to your playlist, I had people talk, I think it was Magic Mike on Twitter, talk about, you know, Horizon 3 and having that Groove Music channel that deals with your music that's in your OneDrive, that is your music, and that will still play. They're
you can still use all your uploaded music.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's awesome. Continue. I'm sorry I cut you off.
No, I mean, that's pretty much it right now. I think it's really interesting because you know, it's going to be another avenue of, I guess, money for the company is what's going on. I know Jez was pissed off that they're quote unquote shutting down Groove, but if I was the head of Microsoft and this was on the table and I was able to partner with somebody who's already established in that business, which is, you know, internet radio and stuff like that, I would definitely seriously consider doing that same thing instead of developing my own.
I use Spotify like all the time. Like a lot.
Do you?
Like during games, when I DJ, just driving around in the car. Like that's all I've used for like.
What is the price for Spotify?
Years. Well, I mean, it's free. You can do a lot of stuff for free, but if you get the $9 a month thing, you can actually download whatever songs you want, and you don't have to use internet, and you can play it anywhere you want, like on your phone, on your laptop, whatever.
And it doesn't use your internet?
Right.
Huh. Interesting.
That's really
I've never
cool.
used Spotify, as you can see.
I absolutely love Spotify, and I never got into Groove Music. The only time I got into it was with the Forza stuff, but now that like Spotify's on there, that's all I use.
Okay. All right. So, go ahead,
well,
TBM.
I was gonna say, like, I thought Groove Music lasted a lot longer than, like, I'm surprised it lasted that long. I always thought it was kind of bad. Like, I always thought it was like a rip off. Especially like since Spotify has been around for like such a long time, and that is but leagues and leagues better than Groove Music. Like Spotify, like Groove Music didn't let you listen to anything for free. Spotify, you don't have to pay anything. Like you can listen to songs, like all the songs, you can listen to them for free. Every like 30 minutes or so, like a 30-second ad or something will play before a song, like after every 20 minutes. And that's like really the only downfall for not paying to use it. But when you do pay, like Supersonic said, you do get the option to download the songs and stuff like that, so you can use them when you don't have internet. It's just so much better, and there's more on it.
All right, that's good.
You know what's funny? Like people don't realize Groove Music was it originally was the Zune app. That's exactly what it was, and they just modified and updated it. But it was originally for people who follow Microsoft hardware. There was an iPod rival called the Zune, and they came out later with the Zune HD, and they don't make those anymore. I actually had a Zune HD. I absolutely loved it. It was better than the iPod. And
yep, so did I. My wife still uses her Zune. She loves it.
Yeah, and that's what Groove Music was basically built off of. At its core, it was the Zune app, you know, just without the games and stuff that you can play on the Zune HD or whatnot. But in the end, it's a good business decision, and they have to make business decisions. They can't just, you know, do everything that everybody else might want. And Groove wasn't kind of like absorbed in the community as much as they thought it was. And, you know, Microsoft is about the numbers. I mean, they look at the feedback, they look at the analytics, they look at the numbers, and they try to do what's best for the company. That's why this company is worth so much money as well. So
yeah, they're going to bank on that. Spotify is super popular, so they're definitely going to get a big chunk of change from this.
I mean, I've never been a fan of Spotify, mostly because I just didn't care for it. I guess I prefer Pandora over anything. But do you guys think that maybe Microsoft jumped in way too quick, too deep with the pricing of Groove, and you know, possibly that's a reason why? I mean, obviously, if they're partnering with Spotify, I mean, they're not going away entirely. But I feel like they might have screwed themselves over by diving in and pushing it for such, like, I mean, yeah, you get 3 months free, all right, but then, you know, it's $9.99 a month or whatever. Like, I feel like they're becoming too money hungry on the jump.
Yeah, they should have given that away with gold. Like every one that has gold, they should have got
That's a good idea.
That actually, that probably would have saved saved Groove in itself. But you know, partnering with someone as big as Spotify, you know, listen, I don't really think anyone loses here.
Yeah, I mean, they're not losing, but I feel like this is like, well, in the beginning, it's like a stupid move on Xbox's part for saying, hey, you know what, let's do this, let's charge this much. Like, you have to really become much more established than just saying, hey, we're going to throw Groove Music out there and see who bites, you know? That's the way it seems in my mind is what they did. Because the only time I've ever used it was on the computer when I'm trying to listen to things, and it's like, do you want to use this Groove app? And then Xbox had to show me how to add music to the OneDrive and all that good stuff. But I don't use it. Like, I used it on my Windows phone to play music. Other than that, like, I hardly ever used it when I did. But now on the computer and stuff, like, I don't use it for my games. If anything, I'm going to use Pandora. Like, I've tried it and stuff like that, but a lot of times when you're streaming and stuff like that, you can't have certain music playing anyway. So I don't know, I feel like it's a fail, you know, on Microsoft.
You know, it's funny, I am going to use the Groove app and the music I have on OneDrive for the game I've been playing most this week, which is Forza Motorsport 7. So when we get in to talk about that, because I think we're going to go into stuff we like, stuff we don't like for people who've played it. Yeah.
Racing games are so much better when you have your own music.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so real quick, guys, I'm gonna do the tweet draw.
Woohoo!
Bum 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 bum. I'm just pulling up the tweet now. CCC 33. All right, so let me click over. I have like a billion tabs and different browsers open. By a billion, I'm in like 3. All right, hashtag only one. Paste. Hashtag. And nobody on the panel entered today. I'm so proud of you guys. At least I don't think so.
Well,
I
we
put
do
a
have
picture of
Supersonic
Sean.
All
in
right.
there.
Well, the winner is James176. You've got
Nice.
yourself a $10 Xbox gift card. Yay! That's awesome. That's why I love Tweet Draw.
It looks like James is going to go with 50% off Cuphead.
Nice.
Heck yes. I mean,
Cuphead for the win.
heck yes.
Dude,
All right,
James,
sweet.
if you change your mind, it's all good, but I am just going by what you tweeted.
You know what? Do whatever you want with it. It's yours. You are the winner. And if he's gonna get half off of Cuphead, that's really awesome. And I definitely want to play Cuphead, so I'm a little bit chilly.
I like what Punk Kiddish tweeted. He said Cuphead or some Destiny Silver. Punk, do you know how many times I have been at Eververse and I'm like, no, I can't use money for silver.
Well, congratulations to James. You can't use money for silver.
I don't want to use actual money to buy silver to get bright Ingrams.
All right, you do want to use it. You're just not going to.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm taking my Halo 5 stance when it comes to rec packs.
Let's be real here.
Oh, I looked at it. I definitely looked at the starter pack for Ingrams and stuff. So
you don't really get anything good with those.
Dude, but I love customization. Like you have no idea. I'll sit there with my shaders and put them on, like preview them on everything, just to see what they look like.
Yeah,
I'm so bad with
shaders
that.
are awesome.
All right, awesome. So thank you, Mr. Boomstick XL, for donating that $10 code. It's really awesome seeing people in the community win it. I'm really excited to do our next one, which is the Forza 7 Hoonigan. I feel really weird saying that.
No,
Why
is
this?
That's a weird name, but it's the Forza 7 Hoonigan DLC car
I can't believe
pack.
I forgot the driver's name. That's known
Hoonigan.
for the Hoonigans.
And I actually won that from Xbox, and because I already had the DLC, I donated it to somebody in the chat to win. So check it out.
Hoonigan. I just like saying it, and it's weird at the same time. Guys, thank you for catching us live. This is awesome. Everybody, please share this out and hit that like button. We love hanging out with you guys, and we love doing giveaways, so we want to spread the love. If you guys could spread the love too, that'd be great. So
Ken Block, there we go. Thank you. Fuzzy has the answers today. I swear, man.
Ken Block for Hoonigan.
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 You get the Hoonicorn.
The Hoonicorn for the Hoonigan. All right, guys, we're getting weird now. Let's talk
by the
a
way,
little bit.
hold on. The Hoonigan pack, I do want to let people know, also comes with a rare driving suit. It is the Monster driving suit as well. And that's pretty cool because they have a bunch of like suits to collect and stuff like that in the game. So you definitely want this just to even at least fill out your collection and make sure you have like all the suits and stuff like that. If you're kind of OCD like me when it comes to getting all the stuff that you can get in a game, you're definitely going to want to get the Hoonigan pack. So
Sorry, Justin just walked in. So yeah, we're gonna talk about
Stuff and things.
who here has played Forza 7, guys. Raise your hand so nobody can see.
okay, I'll raise my up.
Is it just Xbox?
No, I have it. I played it.
All right,
Only
nice.
played one race though, man.
One
Come
race.
on.
No, listen. No.
Because he's busy playing Cuphead. Duh.
Yes, Cuphead and Marvel versus Capcom Infinite. But yeah, let's. I think we should hand this over to the professional racer in Xbox 448.
Nice. So here we go. What do you want me to do, Snap?
He's not only that, he's the king of customizing cars, which his cars look freaking awesome.
Oh, he makes some awesome cars. He made me cars, and I'm just like, oh, they're amazing.
And the decals and shapes are so much sharper in this one.
Let's hear about it, Xbot. Tell us all about your experiences so far.
I am completely happy with Forza Motorsport 7. I love what they have done with the single player. I'll let you know right now, I can't speak on the multiplayer yet because I haven't dove in on that. But I'm having a lot of fun with the series and kind of like the single player campaign. And what they did with this game is a lot of times you'll get like A-class races and stuff like that. And people will typically, they find a car that's like the best of the best when it comes to A classes. Either you hook it up a certain way or something like that. And throughout these Forza Motorsports, you would end up playing, like racing these cars all the time. With Forza Motorsport 7, they changed it, right? It's not just A class and, you know, the highest A class number, but they made sure that you have a specific tire width. They made sure that like they would go below that highest A class number and get you to really kind of like mess with different cars and stuff. And the progression on it, I like what they did because they switched it over to car collecting as well as experience points. And the thing is, there's cars that are locked under a certain collecting tier. Like you have 1 through 6, right? So the more cars that you get, the more you develop and go into the next tier of car collector. And then those cars will open up, right? So you can't just go in and get your Evo 6 as an A class or whatever. You actually have to build up your car collection in order to grab that car because I believe it's a rare. I love what they did with this because it's forcing people to kind of like expand their horizons and test out different cars that they never tested before and stuff like that. It makes the single player feel like a game again and not just going in and grabbing as much money and putting it all into your cars for multiplayer. Like there is an actual challenge here in the single player part of this game that wasn't in there the past iterations, at least a couple past iterations, once people got used to kind of like the form and the formula of Forza Motorsport. And I love the way that they changed this. And it feels like a new game. In my opinion, the graphics are absolutely outstanding. The best thing to see is the sky. The sky as you're racing, seeing the changing and stuff like that. You actually, when thunderstorms roll in, you see the clouds moving in, and they continue to move as the thunderstorm. The track and the environment is just so alive. I think this is quite possibly the best iteration of Forza Motorsport that Turn 10 has done so far, and I haven't even touched the multiplayer yet. So I am really excited for this game. This game, it's gonna be a time eater for a lot of people. Yeah.
Now, I mean, I know that you talked about the graphics, which I think really are just unbelievable. But can we believe it's going to get better with the X? And the answer is, of course, yes. But it's just unbelievable to think about that within literally only 30-something days away, we're going to be playing this game, which already looks absolutely stunning on the Xbox One X in 4K 60.
You know what's crazy, and I don't think they get a lot of recognition for this, but what Turn 10 has done in the terms of sound, because you know what you're looking at, what you're interacting with, and what you're hearing all creates an immersion effect, right? The sound, to have 700 cars and all of them sound unique to themselves, whether it's the rev of the engine, the spin up of the turbo, the collisions sound a lot more solid, sound like they hurt a lot more, sound a lot more physical. The sound in this game is top notch as well. I think Turn 10 has kind of hit, like, this has to be the best racing simulator I have ever played so far.
You know, you mentioned something, Xbot, and I want to really elaborate on this. Now, you had made mention of the team that did Forza 7 not getting the credit they completely deserved, because they're putting out every 2 years an amazing racing experience. And I really think that's unfair, because it's you hear, oh well, it's Forza's coming out, or Horizon's coming out, it's another Forza. But you know what? Every year they put the pedal to the metal, pun intended, and they put out a product that really is second to none. I mean, again, we all grew up with Gran Turismo and how amazing that was, and obviously we know what happened to that company. They've literally dropped the ball, and here comes Forza. But again, only the demo and the few the hour or so that I've put into it, it is absolutely incredible from beginning to end with this, and it all goes back to everything that you said: the sound, the visuals, the little nuances like the sky. These little details all merge together to make something that you can't find anywhere else.
Boom. The thing about this is, and I've seen this on social media and whatnot, is for people who are used to that older formula, who've gotten used to the picking certain cars and going all the way with them, making the single player nothing but just getting as much money as you can for the usual cars that you get and stuff like that. There might be some type of backlash with this because it's something different. And I know I've dealt with this in the Halo community when it came to Halo 5. People are like, there's people out there who just want Halo 3 done over and over and over again. I like where this is going. At least with what I've played so far. People have told me that when it comes to the multiplayer, it feels like the online multiplayer feels like there is a cash grab there. There are loot crates involved in Forza Motorsport 7, and there are people saying it's really hard to make money. And the thing is, you got to think about your car collection. So I have a tip for you guys. When you see the showcases in the single player, the showcases that where after you do the race, you get the car. They're usually on the bottom of the races. You'll see them highlighted as the new series opens up. Do those first, because as you build your collection, you get better, you get higher amounts of money, you get better rewards in milestones and stuff like that. It's really not that hard to make money in the single player part of the game, because that was something a lot of people were telling me, oh, it's so hard to make money in this. It really isn't if you do the showcases first, because they'll give you cars that add to your collection and you'll start building your tiers up higher. That's another thing with what's good with this this giveaway we're doing with the Hoonigan pack. For people who don't have the Hoonigan pack, if you do get this pack, you download the cars and it builds your collection as well. So for whoever wins this pack, it's going to build your collection and get you into the higher reward tiers for the single player.
All right, guys, let me stop you real quick.
Okay.
So we're gonna start the hashtag for geez Louise, I'm opening up all different programs that are not necessary right now. The hashtag for the Hoonigan DLC is gonna be hashtag CCC Hoonigan. It's HOONIGAN, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hoonigan. All right, so CCC Hoonigan. If you guys want to win, let us know your favorite car on Forza Motorsport. So guys, please hit up the hashtag. Tell us your favorite. You know what? Tell us your favorite car in general in the world. I don't care what it is. If you guys want to use a gift, that's even better. But hashtag CCC on Twitter, Hoonigan. CCC Hoonigan. Not on Twitter. Go for it. The hashtag is in the chat.
Like I said, people who don't have this pack, like, it will add to your car collection. It'll put you into the higher tier system when it comes to milestone rewards.
Beautiful.
And it'll help you make that money to get the cars and stuff like that. I think it's a really cool system. It might not be perfect. All right. I don't know yet. I haven't played every aspect of this game. Like I said, I haven't played the multiplayer. But to see them try something new, because as Boom said, people are like, oh, it's another Forza race simulator, nothing new and stuff. They try now to do something new when it comes to these car collections and moving up that way. And I feel like it's refreshing. It's actually refreshing. You still get the same spot on, solid race simulation gameplay. You have improvements to graphics, improvements to the physics, to the sound, everything like that. Everything is improved from the previous Forza Motorsport, and they're bringing something new to the table with the single player experience. I don't know what more people could want. You know what I'm saying?
Now,
I
let me
agree.
ask, can I just ask a question real quick?
Hmm?
So for the Forza 7, right? Xbox, I don't know if you guys talked about this at all. And as opposed to the demo, like, does the demo, you know, does it really give people a reason to want to purchase it? Well, you know, you didn't play the demo. As
I
opposed
did.
to the game, like, oh, you did? Okay, great. So if people only played the demo, is it good enough to help somebody want to purchase it now that you've played the whole game? Like, obviously, if you're really a car enthusiast, you love Forza, you're going to get it. It's a great gift for the holidays, too. But is it enough, you know, with the demo to really whet people's appetite?
That's actually a great question. And I would say no. I would say the demo is not enough. It doesn't show key aspects. There's one thing in the demo that could really sell people besides just the graphics. And I believe the demo is a step down compared to the whole game, even in graphics. But there's one race, and it's a race with the Nissan Skyline in Nürburgring. And it shows the weather, the dynamic weather, the thunderstorm.
Yeah.
Weather looks freaking awesome on that. Oh my god, it looks.
See, that part of the
incredible.
demo, I think that could sell people. But what people don't see is like the collector aspect. You don't really see it in the demo. So if they had a few ways, like if you played the demo for so many hours, you would unlock a few kind of like driver suits and stuff like that. If they had a little bit of progression in the demo, I think it would show people more what this game was about, and I think it would sell the game more. But all in all, for people who do go in and you know, get their hands on the full game, I don't think you will be disappointed. Again, I have not played the multiplayer. That is the one thing on Twitter that people have talked to me about, saying it feels like a cash grab, because I guess either now or eventually you'll be able to use your own money to get loot crates. I'm not sure how that's going to work, but I'm a big fan of Halo 5, right? If I can work towards getting everything and not have to spend money on it, I don't have a problem with that. I have absolutely everything in Halo 5 without spending money.
Xbox
right?
just hates spending extra money on, like, especially when it comes to games. See, not for anything. Games are expensive. So yeah, it's frustrating when you feel like you might have to spend extra money.
I don't think so in this. I think that they, again, I've only played it for a little bit, but I've been seeing on Twitter, if you check out the RDX podcast, shout out to Dealer and those guys. Luke is on there as well. He was saying, Dealer was saying that he had no problem making money, and he was making money hand over fist. So I think if you work at it and you really play the game, I mean, if you play the game for half an hour and go play something else, you're not going to make money. I mean, that's the reality. But I think if you put in the
your
time,
Drivatar makes money for you, though.
yeah, that's true. Yes, yes. I've come into quite a few bucks with my Drivatar, knocking people around on the track. But I think if you play the game enough and you're that much of a fan, I don't believe it's going to be an issue. And right now, currently, you cannot buy loot crates with real money. You can only buy the loot crates with the in-game currency that you can earn.
I have a question. You know that Forza app where if you log into it every like 2 weeks they give you money? Is this Forza on there as well?
Yeah, it's called the Forza Hub, and I actually got 176,000 credits for Forza Motorsport 7 for being a part of that and playing, you know, past iterations of Forza and Forza Horizon. Not only that, but depending on what tier you have in the hub, they also unlock driver outfits as well. I got over 10 driver outfits for being a part of the Forza Hub. It's something that even if you like just Horizon, right? It's something to definitely kind of go in and check out the hub, because I forgot what the time base is. If it's every week, every 2 weeks or something like that, but they drop credits for you for every Forza game that you play. So I can actually, I'm still getting credits for Forza Motorsport 5 as well.
Right.
So if I go back in and I play Forza Motorsport 5, there's going to be a bunch of money sitting there in my messages just waiting for me to download to play in the game. So it's a really cool aspect. It's called Forza Hub. It is Forza application. And when you go in and you check it out, you register, with your email that's attached to your gamer tag, and it knows what Forzas you've played, and it puts you in.
Yeah, I actually saw. Oh my God, somebody on Twitter post that he had like $2 million. He got money from every game Forza game he's played.
Yeah.
That app's awesome. Just log in like every 2 weeks. They give you a bunch of money.
Yeah, again, I think people are making a bigger deal. I just think it's the double standard.
Well, it's even Xbox fans, and it's something, like I said, I've seen with the Halo community. There is a change here. There's a difference. I even believe with the online multiplayer, you can't just go in. I know there's people out there that love like this. Was it like the 65 Shelby or something like that? And they love to go in, soup that car up a certain way, tune it a certain way. And it's one of, if not the best cars in the game. But now they're getting people to just not be able to grab that car and go nuts with it. And you actually have to expand your horizons, try different cars.
I was just going to say that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
try different
I actually
things.
like that. It almost got monotonous to a certain point. Like when you saw that Shelby next to you, you're like, all right, well, I might be going for second place if this guy just even vaguely knows how to drive with that car,
Here's my only problem. Like, I love Forza Horizon 3 so much that I might just wait for Forza Horizon 4 next year.
They're really two different games. And I was actually going to say that as much as I'm going to play Forza 7, I do like the Horizon series better personally, because I think it's a more looser racer where you can just drive anywhere. You want to drive in the snow, drive in the snow. You want to drive in the in the mud or in the water, you can do it. Whereas this is for hardcore racing fans. I think you kind of know what you're getting with Forza 7, but I'm happy to be on board. And I'm again, I didn't play a lot of it, but what I've played, I've enjoyed.
Well, there are people as well. Fuzzy brought this up in the chat, talking about the VIP change.
Yes, that's kind of troubling. I'm gonna be honest. I was wondering if that was actually going to come into play, because just when Microsoft is getting all this good press and people are liking their games and people are happy about the X coming out soon and it's reviewing good, they do some dumb shit like this. And
what they do, explain.
Well, the way it works, the way it has worked for years is, if you bought the $100 edition, besides being able to play the game 4 days early, okay, and some people are really into that. That's great. This year, I just bought the regular edition. But if you buy the VIP pass, you would receive double monies in all races for the game's life. Like literally, no matter what race you did, you were getting double the rewards.
Boom. And with that right there, my bad, but with that right there, I got the Ultimate Edition of Forza Horizon 3, and I will let you know, I felt guilty every time I got a wheel spin, and it just doubled the money. You talk about kind of like a pay to win or a pay to get, like paid extra money to actually get double the money throughout the life of the game. I actually like what they're doing with the VIP now, with it having a certain amount of races, a certain amount of perks.
It's 25 races that you get the double X. Well, not the XP, but you get the double rewards.
Yeah,
it's 25 races as opposed to it being lifetime.
Because I actually didn't. I felt guilty. Like after a few months, like I'm still getting double the money all the way through, and there's people that are working their ass off, to make the money to get the cars that they want. And just because I paid more, it was
I mean, listen,
half the work.
It's not so much the change as more that they didn't notify the buyers. You see, that's where we really have a problem. You see, if the original description was changed by Microsoft to include, oh, by the way, it's the double rewards is 25 races. See, that wasn't in there originally. So if you are a regular Forza guy and you blindly bought the $100 edition because you were going to get the game 4 days early, you were going to get all the all the DLs, the first 6 months worth of DLC, you were going to get a few extra bells and whistles, and you were going to get the unlimited double bonus for the life of the game. That maybe that's why you bought it. You're like, well, listen, I'm going to get all this stuff, but as a bonus, I'm getting 2 times the bonus. This is worth it. And they didn't put that in there, and that's kind of scummy to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I definitely
cannot trick your your people who buy your product. I don't think that's right. So again, I agree with you. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. If I paid $100, and I have paid $100 in just about every Forza going all the way back, I wouldn't feel bad about getting double rewards because I paid for it. But with that said, I also agree with you that I don't have a problem with it lasting only 25 races, because I am sure that there's going to be some sort of a loot crate that you can buy with in-game currency, not actually cash. It will give you an additional 25 races to earn that double rewards.
Well, and another thing with the VIP, and this is the reason why I like the VIP. It wasn't double the money because I knew I was going to play the games, make the money anyway. Especially being hooked up with Forza Hub as well. Like I knew credits are coming in, right? The VIP thing, what makes it worth it to me is I believe once a month a special VIP car comes out, and it's not really like an OP car or anything like that, but it's kind of like it has a vinyl that you can't just get anywhere else. It's from Turn 10. It's from like vinyl creators within the company and stuff like that. And I gotten like an NSX with a Chinese dragon on it in Forza Horizon 3. That was a VIP car. It has a VIP label on it. VIPs get different racing suits that have the VIP logo on it and stuff like that. So there are other things in the VIP pack that do make it worth it in terms of aesthetics.
Oh, no, you definitely get over $100. You're paying $100, but you're definitely getting well over $100 worth of additives for that $100.
Yeah, but you are definitely right with them in kind of like their explanation and the description of what the VIP was for this game. If it was such a change, they should definitely have put it in there from the beginning to let people know there was a change. And I don't think there would have been such a backlash if they had did that from the beginning. There would have been people to bitch about things. Just, I mean, in the gaming community, in any community that has such a high number of people, there are going to be people that bitch about change no matter what. But
hey, time out. Don't forget to do that tweet contest that's still going on. What's the hashtag again, Mel?
Oh, CCC Hoonigan. It's CCC HOONIGAN. I saw a couple of 3 O's for Hoonigan, so just make sure you guys are spelling it correctly. Otherwise, it's not going to put you into the tweet draw, and I want you guys to be in the tweet draw.
Tweet draws are fun. Get in it.
You guys can win the Hoonigan DLC.
It's free DLC. It's for a hot new game off the presses, and if you just bought the regular edition and you didn't get it, here's your chance to get it for free.
Yeah, or if you're the winner, you can give it to someone that loves Forza, or you can save it for yourself for when you do get Forza.
Boom.
7, of course.
Can I just say something? We were talking about Microsoft messing up with the whole Forza pass thing with Forza. Well, they also did a similar thing with Halo Wars too.
Oh, that's a bad one too, man. Yeah.
Yeah, like lots of people in the Halo community.
I'm one of them.
Annoyed. I was someone that got the 100 and whatever it was, €120 version of the game, like that came with the season pass. And only like last week they brought out a brand new expansion for the game.
It's supposed
And
to be the
it's-
best expansion too. I haven't bought it yet because I'm kind of gonna wait for a sale because I feel ripped off. I'm not gonna lie.
What you got the season pass and they added more and they're not putting it
Yeah,
with
this
it?
is also this is the biggest like story driven. Also has other things on top of it, multiplayer side of things.
Sounds like
in
something
it.
Destiny would do.
It's like the thing most
Yeah, it
people
was
would have
re-
wanted in the season pass. And
Yeah, absolutely for sure, CBL. I mean, basically it's like this. We both of us who are Halo fans bought the season pass, which was over $100. Okay, and it says you get season pass. Now, when I hear season pass, I would imagine that within the year of the game releasing, the same year, that would be considered part of the season. I'm just saying. I don't think that's a stretch here. The game just launched in March. And we're now in October, and when does the season end? I thought a season was a year. I've just throwing it out there. Maybe I'm wrong. And here they launch the new DLC with the Flood, where you get to control the elites, and
you've controlled the brutes.
the brutes rather. Yes, and here we go. I was like, okay, this is dope. I want to play it because you get to fight the Flood. This is amazing. I go to check to see if it downloaded, and it's asking me for $20. And I'm like, wait a second. I know I bought the big edition. I went and checked my, make sure that I bought it, and I did. And it's like, oh no, it's all over Twitter. No, this is an additional $20 on top of the already $100+ you spent, which you bought the season pass for. So it was crummy for Microsoft. Again, back-to-back DLC, DLC related things.
But the
It's not
thing
a
that
good
made it
looking company.
worse
Guys, you know what's funny?
was the thing that made it worse was the day the DLC came out. They also put a bundle of Halo Wars 2 on the store, and it's called like the complete edition or something like that.
Yes. Yep.
And it's for the same price. Like Halo Wars 2's base version would have been on release day with all the DLC from the normal season pass plus the expansion pass that just released for like 60 or whatever it is. New game prices for everyone.
Good
So-
job, Phil Shady.
I don't know. Like I said, it's just back-to-back DLC related shenanigans, and I'm not a big fan.
Guys, you know what's funny? This stuff that you're talking about, it actually started with Forza. And see, this is the thing. A lot of companies, at the end of the day, they are companies and they're trying to make money. So when something unfair comes out, we definitely need to talk about it, because with Forza and getting the season pass, right? The car pass, it's only good for 6 months worth of car passes, right?
Right.
And then afterwards, they're still coming out with car packs.
Right. Correct.
And
Yes.
then you have to buy those if you want them. And a lot of times, like within those first 6 car packs, like 3 or 4 might not be that great.
Yeah. Usually it's you get like
guarantee
2
that
really
7th
good
one is
packs.
going to be off the chain, though.
Yeah. I'm
But
sure.
when they call it the complete edition, like Dean said, that's really deceiving.
Yeah, like the new DLC also has like new cinematics done by Blur. Like it has a full 4-mission story like that's after Halo Wars 2, continuing the story, and it's bringing back like an enemy that everyone has wanted to return to Halo, the Flood.
Yeah.
Like a fan favorite enemy is also in the DLC behind this paywall. That like it's not like it's cheap. It's like as
It's $20
dear as a season pass. Like
Yeah.
the season pass would be around that price or only slightly more, and that's how much that is on its own.
All right, guys. So yeah, I'm gonna like Halo and Forza going back and forth. So I'm getting a little confused. I think we're getting a little off track.
Who,
So
us? Never.
yeah, right. We never get off track. So I'm gonna move it over to the Metacritic scores.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, so I'm gonna let Boom take it away, and then we're gonna hand it over to Xbot. Go
Well,
for it.
Well, here's the thing, because Xbot probably knows this a little bit more. He has a little bit more detail into it. But I am going to say this. I feel it's very unfortunate that Metacritic would allow so-called gaming journalists or gaming-related sites to give a game a 0.
The 0 comes from user score.
Right. Yes. But I'm just saying that the actual Metacritic itself. Now, there are. Listen, dude, they're packed with haters out there that are just. They're mad. The saltiness that's going on right now, that because Xbox currently has the best racer, as opposed to the recently released horrible racing game. I can't even say it by name, because I used to like that series, and I won't disgrace the name by saying it. It's we don't say that name aloud. We talk about it in private.
In the shadows.
In the shadows.
Did that game release?
I thought it did, man. I mean, I could be wrong, but I thought it came out. So maybe I'm wrong about that.
I think it's on the verge of release, actually. So I'm not sure, though. You could be right on that.
But it's, again, I put it to this way: if it did release and I haven't heard nothing about it, that's pretty bad. But I just think that you can't go based on Metacritic scores. I think it really is just a false positive when it comes to Metacritic. That's just my opinion, but I'll give it to you, Xbot. You take it away.
Well, my whole thing is that on Metacritic, right, when it comes to the review scores, there have been a bunch of positive reviews when it comes to Forza Motorsport 7.
Yes.
On the official game reviewer side of it, the media and stuff. What I found interesting was the user score was at 7.1 out of 10. Now you're looking at last time I checked, it was like maybe a 92, 94 average for Forza Motorsport 7 on the other side of it. So I started looking at the user reviews, and there's this guy there's a bunch of them that were at 0, right?
Yes.
Now first thing they said was it is another Forza Motorsport. Nothing has changed. And you guys heard me.
Yes.
Like when it comes to car collections, how to progress in the story, everything like that, it has changed, right? To the point where there's Forza fans out there who have gotten used to the way it used to be that are complaining about it now. So there is a big change in there, but there's these user scores. And you could tell one of them, the name was, I think it was like Forza is shite or something like that. And they said that they have been Forza fans for years. And it's like, you look at the name and it's like, no, dude, you're a hater. And come to find out when you look more into it, he's an absolute Sony fanboy, right? So it's like you have a bunch of Sony people going in and giving the user score a 0, saying nothing has changed in the game, which isn't true. It actually knocked down the score because there was a lot of positive scores, but all those zeros, like I tell our oldest son when it comes to grades in classes and stuff, get something in there. You know what I'm saying? Because a number is better than a 0. A 0 will drop your average like crazy. So it took what would be like high 8s to a 9 on user score and dropped it to a low 7. I was like, holy crap. I can't believe people are hating this much, man.
Here's the deal. Like, no one pays attention to user scores, and it kind of goes to the console war, and it kind of goes both ways to Xbox and Sony. Like, both of them do it. If they don't like it, they'll give it a 0. Like, Sony people give every Xbox game a 0 and just make up shit, and then give Sony games a perfect 10, and Xbox people do it too on there. Then you just have trolls on there, like a lot of people.
Yeah, I was gonna say, does anybody review these and have to approve?
No,
these?
no, they don't. They don't even, like, anyone can go on there and do it, and like no one really pays attention to user scores because, like, they know everyone by now knows it's a joke. This has been going on for like a long time.
I just think it's silly, and I feel like they should really kind of have somebody there to weed out the bullshit.
They should.
Because there's people that be like, oh, I've been a fan forever, and then give it a 0. Then clearly you haven't been a fan because you would probably be enjoying the game right now. Or you can't even afford the game, so you're just going to sit there and troll. Like, come on now. People are...
It's just the user reviews are more of just a fanboy kind of war thing.
I've been a fan for years. What's his name? Forza is shite.
Clearly you've been a fan.
That kind of gave it away, dude.
And it is a lot of people that have never played the game that just they're either Sony fans or Xbox fans, and they're just giving it the lowest score they can, and then the games on their console, they're giving it perfect 10s for.
You know, though, I just think that it just goes to show the mentality of some people. Because, like, look, I'll say it. I'm going to say it. I've said I wouldn't, but Gran Turismo, I was a huge fan, and they used to be the pinnacle of racing. That's what it was. They were fantastic. They fell off, and they've never got the crown back. But even though the game is looking like a PS3 game, which is dreadful, I wouldn't go out of my way to go on to Metacritic and give it a user rating of a 0. I just, listen, I saved my piece. I don't I like Forza over Gran Turismo now, and I wouldn't buy Gran Turismo even on a sale. But I wouldn't go out of my way to be a dick about it and give it a 0. I'm just saying.
For a game to get a 0, it has to absolutely not work ever.
Right, that would have to be broken. Like you couldn't even start the engine or something.
Like I wouldn't even give Friday the 13th a 0. Maybe like
I would.
oh no, I mean I'm
like a 9.
pissed
10,
off,
maybe.
but it's still not a 1 or a 0, guys. Honestly, it's
no,
a fun game.
Friday the 13th, as it currently stands, is like a 4 or a 5. To be fair,
I give it a 2 because it never worked.
Yeah,
especially mine, they banned me. God damn it.
In the chat, Sobsky said no game is a 0, no game is a 10. That is absolutely 100% correct. No game is a 10 because there's nothing that is perfect in a game. All right. And then no game is a 0. And if a game was a 10, it'd have to have replay value of years. And, like it'd have to be like the perfect game where, let's say, they keep updating it constantly and it has to run perfectly and it has to keep you interested. Like that's the only thing you ever want to play. That's the only thing you want to be with, I don't see any game being a 10 or a 0.
I don't know. In my opinion, GTA 5 is pretty close. That's an absolute phenomenal game, and it still is.
Yeah,
it's
that game
perfect.
is so broken and fun at the same time. That's like a 7.
All right, my GTA 5 rating right now, I'll let you know, is a 7.
Because you copycatted me.
No, I thought about it before time. It's not my fault. You're in my head.
You said a 7.1, but you didn't. You said
I don't do decimals. I think that is the pussy.
Oh,
I think that is a cheap way out. Is what I'm gonna say.
All right, real quick. I want to just say something. C-War in the chat says a 10 doesn't mean perfect. Whoever told you that is lying. A 10 means it pushes the genre forward and is revolutionary for its time. A 10 does not mean perfect.
I agree with that.
But that's an interesting way to look at it. I've never looked at it that way. But if you give a 10, like a game a 10, that's saying like it's something amazing. And I've seen some really shit games be a 10. So, I mean, it's something for me to think about going forward. So I like that. So thank you, C-War.
I'll give GTA an 8.5. Just saying.
All right. All right. So, but we have these Sony fans that are on Metacritic giving Forza a 0. And to me, that's saying like a 0 is shit and a 10 is perfect. But then there's other games. And I know, like I just said, I'll think about this, but this I'm still talking about right now is how can a 0. So what's a 0? Is a 0 mean that it's mediocre? I'm just trying to think about it.
Zero's just trolling.
Yeah, there's no game that's a 0. There's no game that isn't. Hang on 1 second.
No Man's Sky at launch, maybe.
You know what? That was
for the loss.
A 0.5. Okay.
Don't you make fun of No Man's Sky?
I like No Man's Sky.
I played the shit out of No Man's Sky. I put like 100 hours into that game.
And I was just saying because of all the lies that came with it at the start.
Yeah,
of
course.
Problems and stuff like that, but it's still a cool
Are
game.
you guys making fun of Sean Murray? How dare you?
Nobody. You know what, guys? The sirens didn't go off today. So, C-War says,
nice.
Yeah, I know, it's scary. Even C-War says, even Flappy Bird isn't a 0, to be honest. I like Flappy Bird. I don't stupid mobile dumb shit game, but it's fun. Xbot had to step away for a moment because we found out this morning that it was a half a day for school. So the kids are shuffling in and we're just like, hey, surprise. So I do want to get a bit into, you know, Andrew House, since, you know, we're talking about Sony and Metacritic and things like that. Andrew House recently said his goodbyes, or is leaving Sony. Now, I thought this was interesting, but it doesn't seem like it's necessarily like on a bad vibe level. You know, he's given them 27 years of his life. And I mean, it seems like he's done good things for Sony.
He actually got hurt. That's why he did it, because he was holding the PS4 Pro.
He separated his shoulder.
It was so heavy, it like
set on fire in his hands. No. It actually seems like, you know, he's just parting ways to go on, you know, other things in his life.
Yeah, he said in a statement that he's very grateful for the opportunities that PlayStation has given him, and he's currently going to take some time off to spend more time with family and then move on to other you know, avenues of his business life.
Yeah. All right. So we got last call going on for the CCC Hoonigan DLC. I just reposted it on the chat. Hashtag CCC Hoonigan on Twitter, guys. If you want to get involved and win that DLC pack, this is the last time I'm posting it. After we talk about Andrew House, we are going to be doing the tweet draw for that winner. So, Xbot, are you back with us?
What's going on, people?
It's the Xbot 448.
What's going on, people? It's the Xbot.
Playing some Halo. Destiny's addictive now.
Everybody
House is getting out while the going's good. Like, he's PS4 pretty much made it to the top, so he's like, peace out.
Yeah, I mean, he's done great things for Sony.
You know what's funny though, Mel? What I again, I'm going to keep tooting this horn until I see a difference in the media, because the double standard I keep referring to is, if this would have been Phil Spencer, you know, stepping down to move on to, you know, different things, or, you know, family or whatever, it would have been front page news. It would have been Xbox is dead. You know, sell your stock now. They're closing down the division, and this kind of went on. This popped up yesterday, and it was a very few sites really kind of took it to task. Mm. And the new guy coming in, his last name is Cadera. He's going to be the new CEO. He's been with Sony since 1992. He's worked on his forte is the online services. He was responsible for working heavily with the PlayStation Network since 2010. But here's the thing that makes you wonder what Sony's getting themselves into with this guy. He has been responsible for overseeing the launch of the PlayStation Vue, which is a failure, the PlayStation Now, which is a failure, and PlayStation VR, which may not be a failure per se, but it's also, it seems like they're moving away from AAA support, just the same way they did with Vita. So here's this guy taking over, who has been involved in 3 very questionable investments for the PlayStation brand, and now he's taking over for Andrew House, and no one has made any mention of this on any podcast. No one has made any mention of this in the media or on Twitter, that as a Sony fan, you might have some concerns. And I think that's the double standard that I'm talking about. Because again, if this would have been Microsoft, let's say for instance, any one of their big guys, Mike Ybarra steps down to go do something else. Oh my God, the ship is sinking. We're all dead.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. It makes me wonder what's really going on at Sony for this guy to step down, because I know he had some choice words.
He's taking a chairman position is what's going on.
Yeah, but he's taking the chairman position, but but after everyone settles in, he's going to go about his business. He's leaving the company.
I know exactly what's going on.
Do you?
Like, yeah, I read the tea leaves, and I know exactly what's going on. The guy that's taken over, he was also the overseer and creator of the PlayStation Store. Yep. And basically in charge of PSN, right? Those are
Correct.
both online things.
Right. That's his
So-
forte.
Great service.
So what is going on is PlayStation as a whole is switching to a mostly online platform, which we have been talking about, in terms of streaming games or whatnot. This is where, these companies want to go. Both Microsoft and Sony, they want to do this because in the end, it's going to cut manufacturing costs, research and development and stuff like that. They want to, at the end of the day, have PlayStation and Xbox as services to where they stream games to your devices. And this is a step forward in that direction for PlayStation. We already know, with PS Now, whether people consider it as a success or a failure, this is the direction that they want to go. They are actually further ahead of Xbox in making this a reality. They might not be doing it in the most stable way possible, where I like what Xbox is doing and stuff like that, where even with their like Game Pass, you're still downloading the game to hardware and stuff like that as they're doing research and acquiring companies like Mixer with streaming technology and stuff, and they're developing that streaming technology kind of behind closed doors to get rid of the latency as much as possible. And with Sony and PlayStation, they're not doing that so much, and they're just moving forward in that direction. And I feel that's why they're putting this guy in the place of Andy, as they call him. Everybody's calling him Andrew House, and they're putting the guy that was in charge of all the internet things, the streaming things, the digital purchases and stuff. They're putting him in his place because that is the direction that they're going. Like it or not, this is where they're going. So it's actually going to be interesting when, they talk about the PS5, 2020 release date is what I'm guessing with that.
Yeah,
but
I would agree with that for sure.
To see the features and kind of like where the games are coming from, and if there's going to be an even more fleshed out kind of like streaming option for games and stuff when it comes to this hardware, I can almost guarantee it now with who's running things now. So that's what's going on, man. Then both these companies want to do it. Sony's just forcing themselves forward more in doing it. And that's what's going on,
man. CBL? Any thoughts? CBL?
Dean?
Sorry again.
He's like, who are you talking to? Oh.
I need to change the batteries on this mouse. Like, it's not very responsive right now. It keeps like dying.
I forgive you. Go ahead.
My thoughts, I don't really have too much to say. Like, it could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. I'm not too aware of the people over at Sony, only because they don't interact with people as much as like Phil Spencer does on Twitter and stuff like that. Like, I only really see them like on like the E3 show and stuff like that. So I don't really know too much about them. I know more about Nintendo stuff because at least they're more like energetic and stuff when they're talking on their shows.
They're
like
very
Reggie and
energetic.
stuff. Yeah, so I don't really know too much about the Sony head-ups and never really cared to like get to know them because they didn't seem that interesting.
Okay.
So yeah.
Cool. Supersonic?
Pretty much everything what Dean said. I just don't care, honestly.
Okay. Cool.
They ain't cool people.
I just don't
Next
care.
time, tell me before the show starts so that way I could just say, forget about you. Well, I mean, from what I've read in articles, it doesn't seem like it's necessarily a bad parting. So, I mean, hey, good for him. Hopefully they fix the issues with PlayStation. Who is that? Somebody said in the chat, is this where is it? So he's a guy who banned me as Neomento. My account when I had to dispute a charge. Probably the same guy that won't let us change our PSN names. And then there was another one. I lost it. But maybe they will do better by Sony. And now they've had their way has been shown, so they can do better and expand from there. That's all I'm gonna say.
They
That's
need to
all I'm gonna say
improve
about
their
it.
online service. I think it's crazy that they actually don't allow you to change your gamer tag at this point in time in 2017. They can't do something. I know it's probably not super simple. Obviously, they can't do it. They're not able to, but it's just insane. You make a name, you're stuck with it.
I don't think it'd be that hard, honestly.
Oh, it's probably
Well,
not
obviously, it's
hard,
impossible for them.
but maybe they just don't want that. I mean, yeah, it's about what the customers want, but it's also about what the company wants to offer. And that's kind of what sets different companies apart. Let's say if PlayStation had all these features that Xbox had and Xbox vice versa to PlayStation, then there would be nothing that set them aside and set them apart. You know what I'm saying? So you can't expect everybody to be the same. And that's kind of why people buy different. Yeah, a lot of people complain because they can't change their name. Well, guess what? Then you shouldn't have made the name in the first place if you didn't like it. I'm sorry. That's all.
Well, I'm stuck with my gamer tag.
You deserve every bit
Actually,
of
I'm
it.
not. I have to pay to change it, but fuck that.
And
I'm stuck
Nintendo's got prisoner numbers, so that's awesome.
Yes.
I'm stuck with my PSN game tags Yoshida balls. I'll be stuck with that forever.
Well, you should have thought about it a little bit more before you made it, because you just made it like 2 months ago.
Yeah, I don't
I mean,
think
that's
too
not
much.
that's not a bad name though. So it's whatever. Hold up. Hold up. All right.
Hey,
Sorry. I'm trying to get ready to do the tweet draw. But the ex-Latino, he entered, but he did not use the hashtag. So go use that hashtag because we're about to do the draw for that. Jesus.
Hey,
That's
wait.
weird.
Speaking of Sony, before you do the draw,
No.
Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's
PSVR?
Let's talk about that PSVR new headset. You guys
Okay,
up
go
for
ahead.
it? Okay, so they are
We know you're the
releasing
VR guru here.
a new headset for PSVR. It has HDR, built-in headphones, and it's less cords, and this is a year after launch. So what do you guys... Oh, not only that, they are rejuvenating the PSVR dildo sticks as well. A lot of people don't know that. And I don't know, like, the dildo sticks are annoying because I have no idea why they don't have an analog stick on it and use an old tech for VR. But let's hear your thoughts, everyone.
Well,
I'm sure
I was a first time adopter with I was a launch day purchaser for PSVR. I bought basically everything. I've enjoyed it. I think I'm a little disappointed that the AAA development by Sony themselves seems to have dried up very much like the Vita. Farpoint is one of their AAA games they really got behind. It's absolutely fantastic. It's probably going to show up in my top 10 of 2017. I really enjoyed that game. This kind of pisses me off. And you know what? I know, this is the risk that you take when you invest in new tech. I get it. I absolutely understand that.
Not
it's
this
not
big of a risk, man. Go ahead, yeah.
But here's the thing. The biggest problem with and again it annoys me as a fan of Sony, because I do like Sony. I'm not all Xbox and F Sony. I do have just about every Sony product that's available. I own it. So, but what aggravates me is the PlayStation 4 Pro was released last year, right? And then and then you had prior to that coming out, you had the PlayStation VR. I would think that being that they're both Sony PlayStation devices, they would be able to work with one another when that is not in fact the truth. The new PSVR allows HDR pass-through. And what that basically means is that while you're using your PlayStation VR on your PlayStation 4 Pro, you can see HDR visuals. Whereas if you had your PlayStation VR plugged in and you wanted to use HDR on your TV just through the PlayStation 4 Pro, you would have to unplug it. I find that to be absolutely ridiculous that someone that creates these items didn't see this being a problem moving forward. They've also changed in the new version of the PlayStation VR the processor, which is faster, and there is the headphone jack to allow you to use headphones where you couldn't use headphones before, except for the little cheapy ones that they gave you, which were terrible. And the wires are a little less. That doesn't bother me so much with the wires, because as technology moves forward, they're going to find better ways to allow the user to not have to be attached to all these wires. That I get, but the HDR pass-through is aggravating that wasn't in there from the day one, considering that they're both Sony products.
The wires are an issue.
The wires are an issue. But again, you kind of know what you're getting into with that, and
absolutely,
I get that. The wires. Listen, it's to me, I never thought of it to be that big of a deal. I would love it to be wireless. What I think Sony should have done is waited a year and released an updated wireless version with all of this, advanced features, so that a person like myself who was there day one doesn't feel ripped off.
Yeah.
So I'm actually hoping these new ones bring the old ones down, but I do feel bad for the people that got one and now there's a better one coming out so soon. But there is always a risk when you're an early adopter. Like wait. Like I have the Oculus Rift, and I expect them to release a new version probably next year. And I know it's going to go wireless, and it's going to
but you've had the Oculus Rift for well over a year, maybe 2 years now.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty quick, but I mean, even like mixed reality and stuff with Microsoft, they're going to come out with new versions, and the tech's moving so fast with VR and getting better and better.
The PlayStation VR hasn't even officially been out a year, though. So that's why I really have a problem with it.
I just want a PSVR, so I can try it out. I don't care if it has wires or not. Don't care at all. Somebody wants to send one my way.
Yeah, Oculus, the wires, there's like only one wire, and it does not bother me whatsoever. So like,
I'm letting everybody go, so this way I can go all in.
Go all in, brother. I think we've said our piece.
This is absolute bullshit. All right,
Sean Murray. Hi.
How the hell? First of all, this shows that the PSVR was completely rushed out.
Yep,
all right,
100%. Yes.
Now, for people who are accepting this as well, if you invest in it as a early adopter, you expect these things. No, you don't. All right, maybe 2-3 years down the line, you get a revised version. Yes, but less than a year. All right. And here's the thing. When it comes to research and development, you have Sony claiming that PlayStation PS4s, even the basic ones, have a certain type of HDR. Then you have the PS4 Pro that has HDR. Research and development have already been in on the whole HDR thing. So why the hell wasn't it in the original PSVR? Like, that makes no sense.
Question.
That makes no sense. What they did here, coming out less than a year. Now, can you imagine the launch of the Xbox One, right? Mm-hmm. Sony, when it comes to the memory, when it comes to the power, had more power in the PS4. So can you imagine if within less than a year, they came out with a new Xbox One that had faster memory, which kind of brought it...
On their defense, Xbox One S came out and...
3 years after.
3 years,
Xbox One S, and then a year later, Xbox One X is coming out. So that's 1 year that they're doing the same thing.
No, that's I think that's a tremendous.
Well, first of all, they told everybody that the One X was coming out the next year. So if you wanted to wait, you would get that, right? At least they let you know that there was another system coming out that next year.
That is true. I do agree. They should have let people know about it.
What they did is they completely rushed out the PSVR to try to take advantage of the VR hype at the time, right? They had the research and development for the HDR. They obviously, I guess they just couldn't get it into the headset at that point in time. But people should be outraged, and I don't know where the gaming media is on this, because they haven't said anything. Oh no,
it doesn't matter. There's nothing to cover. There's nothing to bitch about because it's Sony. I'm just saying.
Right. This is absolutely bullshit for anybody who bought the PSVR. I don't care about the whole early adopter thing. You know, eventually down the line, headsets become cheaper. Early adopters, we pay more and all that good stuff. But less than a year to come out with new hardware, that is pretty much unspeakable. Right,
and there's no trade-in program.
I was gonna say, is there a trade-in program?
Nothing. You know what there was? If you want the new stuff, it's $400 for the headset on its own, or if you want the deluxe package, it's $500.
So
okay, and I know Xbot is going to say that you shouldn't have to do it, but PSVR, like if you own one, they're still worth a lot on eBay if you want to sell it and just get another one.
And that's, I mean, that's a good option, but you shouldn't have to. You shouldn't have to do the extra work.
There should be a trade-in program at GameSpot for that.
What piece of hardware? What piece of hardware do you know in terms of gaming that within less than a year they're going to come out with an upgraded version?
All right, on PSVR, $439.22, $485.99. So here's one that's $577. Oh, it says the new one. Wait, no, it's just brand new. So yeah, the prices are still roughly the same as before too. So that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is absolutely insane for features and like a faster processor, which is more power, right?
Right, correct.
HDR, which is an added effect, which should have been there to begin with. If research and development teams were talking to each other within the PlayStation division of Sony, that should have already been there. There is no excuse for this. And for people, if people roll over and show this company their neck for this, they're going to do more and more stuff like this if it sells. Yeah,
they really have to do it though, because these games are getting a lot bigger and a lot more demanding and stuff. So
within less than a year.
Yeah,
we all know
VR games
game development takes about 3 to 4 years.
They're getting bigger fast.
I have something to say. Okay.
Go for it, man.
Sapsky says $1,000 phones are getting revised versions sometimes twice a year. So, I mean, we're talking about games, but it's not just the games that are very pricey items that are getting revised, you know, less than yearly. And that's a really good point because we got to remember
that actually is a good point. But you see, here's the thing: it still doesn't gaming as much as people want to compare phones to gaming. They're two different animals.
That is true, but we're spending more on our phones than we are on our PSVR or Xbox One, stuff like that.
I agree that it could be compared to, okay, if you're going to get the, iPhone 8, whatever, and then you can get the S, 6 months later. I completely understand that, but that's also your phone. This is, and again, I'm not making a defense here. These things are coming. This completely came out of left field by Sony. This is again, it's just one of those double standards that everyone's getting on Microsoft for the VIP pass, and no one is outraged on the media side that Sony, in less than 1 year of launch of the PlayStation VR, there is a better one, and they're giving for the players no options, but if you want the better one, go rebuy it.
Well, it's like an iPhone.
And when does this launch?
They have trade-in programs out.
What's the launch date for this?
I think it's relatively soon. I don't know the specific date.
Well, maybe by the time they do launch it, they will come up with some type of trade-in program. I guess, like right now, is there anything that says you will absolutely not have a trade-in program, or is there a possibility that we may have a trade-in program?
As far as I know, there's no trade-in program for it.
And like I said, they are also upgrading the Move controllers to new ones as well, which makes me mad. No analog stick on those. I don't know how PSVR people play with those things.
You know what's funny, guys? People are talking about the whole cell phone thing, right? Now, when Apple got into cell phones and came out with the iPhone, it took a couple iterations of the iPhone before people realized, hey, they are putting out hardware, like new hardware every year. And there was kind of a backlash to that in the beginning because that's not something that we did. You see what I'm saying? So when it comes to this comparison, you got to go back to when like these companies first started bringing out new hardware every year, and there was a backlash. All right. So now that we've grown accustomed to it, now you're seeing $1,000 iPhones and stuff like that. Do you really want that to go into the hardware side of gaming as well?
The answer is no.
Because, you know, we kind of rolled over on the cell phone side of it with that. And look what happened. These companies took advantage. All right, well, there's a little bit of backlash, but our profits are still up and everything. We're going to keep moving forward with that. You know, that's the dangerous slope right there. It's not when you find out there is a routine, it's when they're trying to implement a routine. And when you see something like this that isn't fair to the gamer, it isn't fair that they're coming out with this hardware, like I said, and Boom said, everybody else, less than a year with stuff that they should have had thought about at least when it came to the release last year. Because, you know, HDR and stuff like that was in the research and development stage when they were researching and developing the PS4 Pro. And these things were being developed pretty much right alongside each other. There's no excuse for this, guys. None.
Well, we both know the PlayStation 4 Pro and the VR headset were both rushed products.
Now it is pretty much concrete that they rushed the VR headset out. And the funny thing was, they rushed it out and thought it was going to be this whole new big thing, and it fell flat. So they rushed it out for no reason.
Fall flat.
Huh?
I wouldn't say fall flat, honestly.
Excuse me.
I don't consider it a market share winner if they've only sold 1 million VR headsets in the year that it's almost been out. I don't you know, you can try and spin it any way you want. You may consider the other you know, VR headsets winners like the Oculus. You know, that's fine. But Sony, and then again, this is not being a hater. I bought one, so I currently still have one, and I got about 30 games for it. I wouldn't consider this a winner.
That's their problem. Like, there's only like 30 games on it, and I think Microsoft is going the total correct way and putting Steam on their mixed reality headsets.
Yes,
because they're going to have such an enormous library. Like, it's going to be 2 months after the launch because all these headsets are coming out within like a week or two or something. So I think VR is going to get like a big push. But I think the thing with the Sony VR, why a lot of people will be salty, is because the price point they put it at, which it should not be that much money. I mean, that's a big knife in the side of you. Because
here's the other thing. Here's the other thing that's slightly troubling, and maybe I'm wrong for saying this. Usually, especially in the video game market, when a iteration comes out, it's usually cheaper. Correct? It's usually cheaper. The Xbox One came out for $500 with the Kinect, right? Mm-hmm. And when the S came out, if you got the 2 terabyte, it was $399, and if you got the 1 terabyte, it was $349. So why is Sony releasing the new version of the PSVR for the exact same price as it was last year?
Is that a confirmed price?
Yes, that is the confirmed price.
The only good thing that might come out of this is it might make the old ones a lot cheaper, which that's what VR needs, is these prices to come way down.
This is going to be like a Christmas time cash grab, though, too. You guys got to remember, like, if it does come out before Christmas or around Christmas, it's a cash grab. But at the same time, it's more of like an upgraded version. I mean, I can say, like, yeah, it sounds like it's bullshit and stuff, but at the same time, like, they're going to have products that come out that are going to be better. They should just down the price of the original and keep that one at 500. I'm not going to say that it shouldn't be 500. If it's better quality and better this, better that, it should be the same price as the other one. The other one's the older version, needs to go down in price by maybe like,
a lot.
I mean, I would say
$100 for sure.
$399, like, you know, just for the headset, the headset should be cheaper, so that should be like $299. If you want the set, it should be $399. There's no reason it should still be $499, and even then they should have some type of sale on it. But I'm not gonna say, like, if they have the newer stuff they need to have that as the more expensive item and then give you a discount on the older version. We do have to wrap it up, guys, and I do have to do my tweet draw I've been waiting to do for like ever now. So it's been fun. So I'm picking
great show.
our CCC Hoonigan hashtag winner right now. So you're gonna get the DLC for the Hoonigan for blah 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 Forza 7. I need food, guys. I'm starving. Who is it? Neo Mental is the winner.
What?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Congrats. I know he was saying he didn't want to win again, but there was nobody entering, and now we have a few entering, and he did win. You know, Neo Mental. If you have Forza, I hope you enjoy it. If you want to give it away or give it to a friend, then that's up to you. But congrats everybody for winning today. Well, those of you who didn't, I can't say everybody since we only had 2 winners. I love doing the giveaways on our show today. It feels like the show just blew by. I'm looking at the clock. It's almost 1 o'clock here. So I'm like, where did all the time go? It's been so busy. So it's been a really great show. But we do have to wrap it up because it is afternoon. I don't know if you guys can hear them in the background playing guitar. So again, congrats Neo Mental, and congrats James. I forget, it was 172. James 172. I don't know. And then I will send you guys a direct message after the show. But right now, we're gonna wrap it up. So guys, let's let everybody know where they can find us and what we're up to. CBL, would you like to go ahead first?
Yeah, I had an awesome time being on the show. Thanks everyone. YouTube Creating Beyond Limits, Twitter Dean557E, Mixer and Twitch is also Creating Beyond Limits. I do reaction videos, gameplay videos, reviews, top 5s, and stuff like that. So yeah, if you're interested in checking out my channel, that'd be greatly appreciated. Nearly at 300 subs. Woo!
Beautiful, beautiful.
I know I was super quiet today. I didn't have a lot to say about Cuphead or Forza since I didn't play them, but I really did enjoy hearing everyone's thoughts, and I really want to play Cuphead, like really bad.
Nice. Well, hopefully you get Cuphead at some point in time. Guys, everybody is linked below in the description, so you can go follow everybody on Twitter and then find them on YouTube and all that good stuff if you just click on their name and hit subscribe. Xbot448, let everybody know where they can find you and what you're up to.
Well, it's awesome that you said, click that link below, because that's what I'm going to tell people to do. You'll follow me on Twitter. I'm a part of a bunch of great shows, CCC, Next Podcast, BGST, Crossfire. Like we could go on and on here, but the best thing to do is to follow me on Twitter at Xbot448, and I will let people know when we are going live on these shows. I had an absolute blast today. The Forza 7 was probably my favorite topic to talk about. I cannot believe what Turn 10 does on a yearly basis. When it comes to racing games and stuff, you would think that, there has to be a ceiling at some point in time. And Turn 10 is actually in control of the ceiling, and they just keep making it higher every year. So it was a lot of fun. I had a blast talking all these topics with everybody, and can't wait until next Wednesday, guys.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Every week is awesome hanging out with you guys. And like I was saying in the chat, this is the only time I really have to relax. Excuse me. Like I was letting everybody know. I'm gonna tell everybody. In the chat, like somebody gave their 2 weeks at work literally 12 minutes before the show started. So it put me in a really shitty mood. And that's how my week has been all week, where work has been crazy. So being able to do this show today, and we're talking about games and stuff, this has been very therapeutic for me. And it really makes me feel happy to be here and chat with everybody on the panel and everybody in the chat. And it's my way of like calming down. And if these kids don't stop playing guitar behind me, it's gonna drive me crazy. Thank you, Half Day at School. Supersonic Station, would you like to go ahead?
Oh, sure. I'm really excited. This Sunday at about 8 p.m. Central, I'm starting a new show. It's gonna be all VR avatars. And my first guests are Cass and Sherry, and you can find them at Cass and Sherry. Just search Cass and Sherry VR on YouTube, and definitely give them a sub and follow them on Twitter. And it's going to be awesome. So we're all going to use our avatars, so it'll be like a cartoonish looking show, and we can.
That's kind of cool. I've seen that.
and we're gonna do like VR news and tell you what games are coming up, what games are free, and draw stuff and just be goofy. And I don't know, it'll be a lot of fun. So that's this Sunday. So like before MNC mornings or whatever, check it out. And you can find me on Mixer and YouTube at Supersonic Station, all one word.
Awesome. All right. And then we have Mr. Boomstick XL. Where can people find you and what are you up to?
You can find me on Twitter at Mr. Boomstick XL. You follow me, I'll follow you. I like to tweet a lot. I am very vocal on Twitter. You can also find me on the Crossfire podcast Friday nights at 7 p.m. with the Xbox 448, Mooch, Crap, and the rest of the gang. And this was a great show, another solid show, and I'm glad I was able to donate a few things to allow for us to do the giveaways, because I think that helps move the show along in a positive direction.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for donating. It's so much fun to do giveaways. That's probably one of my favorite things that we do on the show. I said do. God damn it.
I told you it was fun to say.
Yeah, it is so much fun, Xbot.
Wait, speaking of doo-doo, I might stream poop in my soup after this podcast.
That's gross, and I'm talking.
Well,
it's a game called Poop in My Soup.
My turn. So everybody who does come by every week to check us out live, thank you so much. You guys are the reason why we do the show, and we love having everybody here with us. We love chatting, and like I said before, it's therapeutic for me. It's been so refreshing today to not be dealing with work right now and stuff like that. So it's really nice. And I do thank everybody who does come out live, and even those of you who do check the show later. Unfortunately, if you do check the show later, you're not going to have the opportunities to win unless we are live. We do have plenty more giveaways coming up. I cannot promise every week we'll have giveaways, but there's lots of things in the works because I have a bunch of stuff I collected in the house that I have to give away. And I'm trying to save that stuff for when I do my charity stream next month. Excuse me. So I'm gonna go rest and relax and have an awesome rest of my day, or try to anyways. I'm going to the park or something with Xbot so we can do some metal detecting, and I'm gonna make the kids do all the work, and I'm gonna get rich. So next week when we get on the show, I might not have a job and I might be rich, so we'll see what happens.
I got a doo-doo.
What?
Nothing.
What?
I practice saying doo-doo, okay?
Wow. Okay. So, anyways, guys, I'm the host of the show. You can follow me on Twitter. Girls Can Game too. I just went on a whole rant because I don't know. I'm just tired or something, starving. I know. And subscribe to the channel. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Thanks for stopping by, everybody.
All right.